Remind yourself who you are in bed with. Ryan Jew doesn't need to screw you, nor does he need to screw anyone else. Ryan Jew owns internet exchanges. Ryan Jew owns cryptocurrencies. Ryan Jew is a shareholder of tons of great projects. Ryan Jew works with governments. Ryan Jew works with Fortune 500 companies. Ryan Jew sits with kings, not on kings, with kings and with royals, and he does billion-dollar deals. Kalpesh Patel said to the HyperCommunity back in January the 8th, 2022, to bear this in mind when they are doing their due diligence, and they were concerned about the fact that they weren't getting their reward money. He tells members to remind themselves about their place in the community. Their job was not to step out of line, and all they had to do was share this fantastic opportunity with their friends or family because they were getting rewarded to do so. I'm Danny DeHeck, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. I got that nickname by having a featured article in the New York Times about my quest to name and shame anyone running or promoting a Ponzi scheme or a scam. I've done over 200 videos exposing HyperVerse. This video was recorded about 18 months ago, and I thought I'd go back and just look at all the claims that these guys made and all the promises that these guys said would happen, and just have a little look to see how they got on. I'm not going to do a full voiceover on this video, but I am going to chirp in to different time slots. Now, I've done the dirty work for you. I've spent the last couple of hours looking at this video and refreshing my brain, and some of the statements and some of the people that come onto this Zoom meeting are breathtaking. Now, you've got Kelp or Keith in here, and they are priming you, they are gaslighting you, and they are telling you anything to get the community to go. Now, the video before this, which was part 4, was actually telling everyone that they need to start up with a 90-day plan to get the hype going again in HyperVerse. Now, if you're not familiar with HyperVerse and you're wondering what Danny's talking about, it's a long story, and you could go back and watch all my videos. There's hours of footage. Or I could just tell you it started from Sam Lee and Ryan Jew, a guy called Jaden Wee, and a couple of guys called Kevin. And they are what we call corporate. And they come up with this Ponzi scheme called Hyper Capital, which got rebranded, rinsed and repeated to Hyper Fund, to HyperVerse, to HyperNation, to HyperCosmo, to HyperPlanet. And it just keeps reforming itself. They keep stringing people along. People were told, and what happened is, like all good Ponzi schemes, if you put money in, you'll get an amazing return on your investment in a short period of time. With Hyper Fund, they told people if you put in $300, within 600 days, you will get $900 back paid to you in rewards. The perfect formula. They claim that 1.5 million people got involved in this opportunity. The minimum investment was $300. Get your calculator out. This is a $4 billion scam. I've had people telephone me telling me they've put in, $200,000, $5 million, and they said they thought this was a sure thing. It's absolutely rubbish. The reason I do these videos is I want to tell you, I want to educate you. I'm collecting a database on anyone that's running these Ponzi schemes. I'm gathering information, and I've got a massive jigsaw puzzle of how it all fits together. Kalpesh Patel, these days, is living in Dubai. Keith Williams disappeared, told his community that he had stage 4 cancer and he was putting his affairs in order. No one has seen him since December 2022. He was made the global sales ambassador for HyperNation, and he theoretically got paid a lot of money for telling people, coming up with a slow exit strategy so they could get away with the money. It goes on and on and on. I've done hours and hours and hours of videos, but what gets me the most is these two guys, how they work the community, how they built trust with the community, how they gaslighted the community, and it's worth watching. So for the first few minutes, I'm just going to do a little bit of a talk over. I'm going to let these guys spill the beans. Anytime I feel like I can offer anything, I'm going to stop and pause and talk. At the end of this video, after you've hit the subscribe button and hit that bell, hopefully right now it should go ding ding, you will actually get new videos as they come out. But I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel because that's important. I want you to watch this video because that's important, because I want these videos to get out to the masses. Because since Hyperfun, Hypercapital, HyperVerse, HyperCosmo, HyperPlanet, these multi-level marketers, because this is the scam, they've just gone and diversified and they're onto other projects. Now, just before I start playing this video, I want you to understand the scam is the multi-level marketers are able to get their money out now. So at the time that HyperVerse was going, 52% of the money that was deposited into the company or the corporate behind it was going out and paying people reward fees. So everyone you see on YouTube is saying this is a good thing, are hoping that when you sign up, they will get 20%. When their friend signs up, the person that introduced them to it will get 15% and the new person will get 20%. Now, I don't know if that makes sense, but it used to go 20%, 15%, 10%, 5%, 2%, and so forth, and there was 20 levels of commission structure. How they claimed that the whole scheme eventually fell over was because people were creating 21 account structures, which meant if Danny come along and he put his money in the top of the funnel, let's call it a funnel, 52% of that money would get paid out straight away to the multi-level marketers. They were taking their money out of the platform immediately. And there's so much corruption. So the people that have the money, because there's all these people who are saying they're going to do a class action lawsuit against corporate. Corporate potentially would only have 48% of the money. The rest of the money has been split up with hundreds of people who have been promoting it. So it's a dirty, disgusting scam. And now these scammers have come up and they're trying to keep the community together. It's just disgusting. I'm not going to go on about it. This video will be played in its full entirety at the end of my introduction, but I want to go through some of the highlights and let's get started. Oh my goodness, that box popped up. That was not meant to happen.
We know when we smell a rat, and this has been good. And look at the infrastructure, exchanges, wallets. I mean, who does all that? Who puts all that on the table for us to enjoy? Okay, all parts don't work perfectly, but it's there. Who does that? An elaborate scam. It's so elaborate. It's got me. It will blindside me if it turns out to be something that you guys, you skeptics, are saying, because you got me, and I'm always, my eyes are wide open, my ears are close to the ground. They've got me. If they can get me.
So Keith Williams, the guy that's claimed he's got stage 4 cancer, who's gone into hiding, who allegedly got paid a large exit strategy to come up from HyperVerse. He is claiming that he is watching like a hawk about any of these scams. So there's no doubt in my mind that Keith obviously knows this is a scam.
They've got all of you. So look at what we got on the table, what they're putting together. It's amazing. It's incredible.
Absolutely.
And you still doubt.
Remind yourself who you're in bed with here.
Remind yourself who you're in bed with is what Kalpesh is saying. Just so you know how these things get traction, it's a real sad story. COVID happened, everyone went onto Zoom. These guys got onto Zoom and they started building up these large Zoom meetings. This particular Zoom recording has been played live to 1,900 people approximately. And these people are being taught in the Zoom meeting how to become leaders, how to grow their business, how to multi-level market. And these guys are all multi-level marketing. So there's 1,900 people in here who are learning how to share the gospel.
All right. This guy owns exchanges. He owns cryptocurrencies. He's a shareholder in tons and tons of great projects. He works with governments, works with Fortune 500 companies.
You and I know he
sits
works
down
with
with
governments.
kings of countries.
Yeah, you
Sorry?
and I know because you and I know he works with governments because
Yeah.
we've been in the UAE for the past 12 months, and I know his standing in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. I know how they feel about what we're doing and our platform. And as I said, we've just opened up a couple of mining farms there. We relocated from China. These guys are well connected with the right people.
Yeah.
Understand that. It's powerful.
They sit with royals. They do deals in the billions. They do not need to screw anyone to get ahead. They are already ahead. Just get that. They're already ahead.
So it turns out that these guys were not talking to corporate or who they thought was corporate. They were just text chatting people using WhatsApp. So this is the type of communication they had. And they were talking about we and us, but really corporate was theoretically Sam Lee, Ryan Zhu, and then we've got Jaden Wee, who was the CEO. They invented a guy called Stephen Reese Lewis, which I used to love doing, and he was meant to be the new CEO. No one even knows where he is. He's meant to be in Thailand. And then there's two Kevins, and I believe they control the purse strings of HyperVerse. I tracked a transaction for $842 million. Kalpesh Patel told me personally that they were transferring the money out of HyperVerse and transferring it into Bitcoin wallets, into Bitcoin small wallets. And I had that verified that it was this transaction that I tracked with the key of some of my videos, that it literally had been broken up into Bitcoin wallets. He also told me that they were never doing whale trading, they were never investing in startups, and he was offered a ridiculous amount of money to do a slow exit strategy for HyperVerse. Now, the reason why Kalpesh Patel contacted me, he didn't like the fact that I was telling everybody that he was making $1 million a day out of HyperVerse. And he said, I'm just as bad as Sam Lee. So I said, why? And he said, because you're telling people porkies. And I go, well, I got told you were making $1 million a day out of it. So how much were you making out of HyperVerse before it crashed? And he said he wasn't prepared to tell me that. So that's fine. Anyway, he now lives on the 56th story of some penthouse apartment in Dubai, and he's still promoting other Ponzi schemes. When he left HyperVerse, because he wrote a Dear John letter telling everyone that he didn't feel it was ethical and he didn't want to deceive the Hyper community. And then he went on to starting to promote GS Partners, and then he went on to Wee Global, and now he's doing Data Bank. So that's an update on what Kalpesh Patel is doing. And then Keith Williams, well, he got made, shortly after this, he got made the global sales representative for the world. And then people like Brenda, Chunga, Clayton Ford, and a whole list of other people all got made country sales representatives. So it looks like Keith Williams took the payout. Last time we saw Keith Williams was around about the 16th or the 22nd of December. He was asked to go on to we were told he was going to come onto a presentation by Hyper Nation, and that never eventuated, but he's gone into hiding. And obviously, as I said before, we've heard on the grapevine that his community says he's got stage 4 cancer, but that's not true. In fact, I've been told by sources that Keith Williams tried to pay $1.5 million in taxes, and the tax department refused to take his payment, and he's getting investigated for fraud and tax evasion. So that's the truth of the matter. There's other things I know which I can't say, but these guys are shady as hell. So let's carry on for a wee bit.
All right. So take a nice deep breath. The next time you want to throw 2 pence into the pot, take a deep breath and keep it in your pocket. Ryan doesn't need it. The community doesn't need it. And me and Keith definitely don't want your 2 pence worth. Keep it in your pocket. All right? That's it.
So the problem they're having at the moment, people are not able to withdraw their money. Everyone's Ponzi schemes work in a way where they pay the people at the start. They chirp about it. People go, wow, it's amazing. And they all go in on the Ponzi scheme. So right now, all the withdrawals were, not all the withdrawals, that's a different story, but quite the majority of withdrawals had failed. Some people could People like Bitcoin Rodney was actually offering to take people's money off the platform because they hadn't stopped his ability to withdraw money. So he would literally say to people, if you give me $100,000 worth of HVT, I will transfer it out of the platform into USDT, and I'll take 30% of the money for doing so. And people were doing that because they were left no choice and they couldn't withdraw their money. And then he got up to 45 million HVTs that he was going to give away, because once they realized he was taking money off the platform, because still people were investing, because these guys right now are telling people to invest, recruit, because they wanted the Ponzi scheme not to fall over. So it's simple. They robbed Peter to pay Paul. If there's not enough Peters out there selling it, then there's not enough money out there to pay the Pauls. It's as simple as that.
If you see people throwing 2 pence into the pot, just remind them, hey, mate, here's the due diligence, just in case you forgot. Ryan doesn't need your 2 pence worth. This community doesn't need your 2 pence worth. Corporate doesn't need your 2 pence worth. The IT team doesn't need your 2 pence worth. And the leaders don't need your 2 pence worth. Keep it in your pocket. There you go. Nice, easy message to send out, right? So let the company do what they do magically, which is build massive businesses successfully. They scale, they grow, they multiply, they do everything they do at the highest level. Let them do what they do.
The highest scam level is what they're trying to say. This video will be played in its entirety at the end. I'll hopefully put the timestamps in when you can go straight to the point where they're talking about this. The thing is, I've done a bit of public speaker training, and they call this a shit sandwich. So they praise you up, they welcome you, and then they tell you the hardcore facts in the middle, and then at the end they tell you the shining light and the paradise earth story, and that's called a shit sandwich. The part in the middle was a shit sandwich because people were badgering them in the WhatsApp communities, and basically they people like me were coming on board. I just got told about them, and any publicity that's negative, they're basically telling people to try to outweigh them with positive stuff, and that will dampen the people who are telling the truth, so to speak. Anyway, so we're going to go forward. I don't want to rave on all time because you can watch this in entirety. We're going to go to 56 on mine, which won't be 56 on yours. And I think Keith here, if I remember rightly, Keith Williams is praising how clever HyperVerse is, and it's worth listening to this part.
It's accelerated because you're helping others to share in the benefits of this beautiful community and platform. That's why. And it's, again, unique. It's you know, we don't see that out in the world of networking. It's always a commission or a bonus or some sort of incentive. You're incentivized to go and help us to grow the community, and we'll accelerate what we're going to give you anyway. I mean, it's genius. But some of you don't even get it on that level. You don't understand it.
So you don't understand it, you're a stupid idiot. Just give us your money and keep investing. That's basically what he's saying, and it's on a different level. Everything about this HyperVerse and the metaverse, they never, like, when you think about it, Facebook spent $14 billion trying to build a metaverse, and they just laid off 11,000 people due to lack of interest in the metaverse. Now, this company was built on the fact that they were going to build a metaverse. The video that they played on their presentations was stolen from a video company called Dan Studios, and they contacted me asking for the contact details of HyperVerse because they wanted to prosecute them for using their video that they didn't have any rights to. So it's just wicked. So now we go to 50. This is all gaslighting the community. So people, after you listen to this for an hour and a half, you start to think, this is what I need to start thinking like.
That is a shame. So, number one, get your attitude on check daily. So just check where you're at. Take your temperature, check where you're at. Everyone goes through different phases. It's fine. Don't beat yourself up for having negative thoughts about stuff. That's fine. Beat yourself up. You have my full permission. Beat the living daylights out of yourself if you let that negative voice get the better of you. All right? That's when you want to beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up for having negative thoughts. Beat yourself up for watering them and nurturing them and growing them and sharing them.
So it's just straight out gaslighting, telling people how they should be thinking. No freedom of speech. It's just absolutely shocking.
That's when you want to go, stop it. Stop being a pain. Stop being a nonsense and stop creating noise. Stop it.
So anytime anyone negatively spoke out in the WhatsApp group, they get kicked out. So then people learn not to speak out negative and only be positive.
Step up. Become a leader.
Yeah, and if you don't be positive, you're not a leader, and that means you're a loser.
Done. Not rocket science, is it? Just stop it. Hit the brakes. When you're being a nonsense, hit the brakes. You have permission to be a nonsense, but not in the groups. Learn to press pause before you go public. How about that? Press pause before you go public.
And it'll spill out into other areas of your life. If you're positive everywhere. And you're not a negative, whiny moaner,
a negative, whiny moaner. Imagine, I've had people ring up and put $5 million into this, and all of a sudden they were promised rewards. We've got some people telling us in a few minutes that they put $35,000 in and they've got $8,000 back. And I'm going, really? And all of a sudden, those people that put these large sums of money in, I've had two ladies who put $190,000 in between them. And all of a sudden, their money stops paying out. And because they complain that their investment, well, their rewards, because they want to be part of a community. So imagine you put $100,000 into HyperVerse. You were meant to be happy and delighted that you were supporting the community. $100,000 goes into HyperVerse. Your reward is that you're going to get rewards for being a supporter. So the money's gone. It's not an investment opportunity. It's about how much you support the community, and then they start paying you back the money on the rewards on how much you actually invested initially. It's just ridiculous. All right, let's carry on and see what this guy's going to say.
That positivity will spill out into other areas of your life, and I guarantee things will start working for you in other areas of your life.
Don't be a negative Nancy, because your whole life's going to be stuffed up if you become a negative Nancy.
You look at challenges differently, and I do. There's no challenge. It doesn't matter. We can fix things. Anything can be done. We can get there. We can get through whatever. But if you are a negative person, you've got, and any little thing you're waiting to say, there, I told you, I showed her. It's like, why? Be positive, guys. You need that in your life now. With all the negativity out there, you need to be positive, because it's a tough life right now. It's the toughest times ever.
Yeah, it is. We forget that in here.
It's incredible.
When you get out there and you look around, when you put your head up outside of the HyperVerse.
That was one of the most breathtaking things I actually said. I wrote that down. It said, it's tough times outside of HyperVerse. So if you're like NLP training, which a lot of these guys have, they're telling you that if you're not in this community, that it's tough times. So you've got the safe haven where you invest your money, and you have these artificial figures that you can see on a screen or in your cell phone telling you how much money or rewards that you've got. And then all of a sudden you can't take any of that money out or transfer it back into your crypto wallet. But now you just have to hold fast and have faith in the community. And if you don't have faith and you want to speak out, you're going to be kicked out. It's just absolutely disgusting.
Tough times.
There's some interesting times ahead for sure. And the quicker you can get into gratitude mode for being in this, the quicker you'll share it with others and build.
So what you're listening to, and it really, after watching ours, I've done 200 videos. Kalpesh Patel is still promoting Ponzi schemes. Keith Williams disappeared with all the money, taking the exit strategy money. These guys are disgusting scammers. So you can watch that video in its entirety. It makes me angry just watching these guys. I'm going to go back to the first hour after these guys had just warmed up. Now they're telling people that there's 1,900 people on the call right now, and he's instructing them to go out like an army into the WhatsApp group that have realized that they've just lost all their money, and they're telling them to swamp the negative with the positive. They're telling the people that they're basically saying any darkness, we want you to share light on those people and drown them with noise. This is how they manipulate the whole network.
Yeah.
Hey, don't worry.
That's right.
I've been here a while. I understand this. You maybe don't understand it. Just have a look at who Ryan is. Have a look at who Sam is. Have a look at what they've done.
Now, remember, Kalpesh Patel is a criminal. He's been locked up before, had to pay, I can't remember the exact amount, but I think he was ordered to pay £320,000 because he was connected with a scam that stole $12 million, and he got locked up for 12 months in prison. Now, I do have paperwork to prove that fact. So you're listening to an ex-criminal here trying to manipulate the market. Keith, on the other hand, has no criminal record, thinks he's squeaky clean, but trust me, his criminal record isn't squeaky clean because he will soon have a criminal record.
They're going to do right here. They always do. Hang in there. Let's ride this out together.
Billionaires Ryan Jew and Sam Lee, which we haven't heard much about, but we have lately, is going to actually say he's worth billions of dollars, so don't worry about it. He's just got a bit of software that was provided to him from Sam Lee, Hyper Technologies, and it's all of a sudden got glitches. Now, they will produce a, what do they call it, a Medium article, which is a place where you post blogs. It's claiming that at this particular time, their whole network was hijacked by a hacker, and he had access to all their money. Now, I have proof of this, and not the proof that it happened, but proof that they claim this happened. And the guy was, well, the person, well, the hacker, was trying to transfer the money out of HyperVerse into one of the exchanges. But because HyperVerse, which is a mystery organization, had alliances with many of the exchanges, which theoretically Ryan Jew owns, they managed to stop the hacker transferring the money out of the exchanges because the exchanges weren't allowing anyone to take large, massive amounts out of the platform. So they finished up paying the hacker $400,000 as a finder's fee for finding a vulnerability in their software. Does that sound far-fetched to you? It does. But then Sam Lee, who's trying to steal the community later on, 12 months after this shit has happened, has basically said he provides the back-end software that runs all these scams, and there's no way in hell his software would be hacked. The 2 days that article that was on the internet got removed, and then it disappeared, and no one's seen it since. However, Danny DeHeck, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, which I hope you've subscribed to my videos, actually did a whole video showing that post on the Medium website of their alleging that they had been hacked. It's just, you know, like, it's like that. Oh, it's just crazy. It's breathtaking.
Imagine what a different group that would be. Can you see that? Imagine if suddenly that there were more encouraging messages, supportive messages, community messages.
Yep.
HyperCommunity messages. He's asking the HyperCommunity to go in there as an army.
Than people just chucking stuff around in there. Then less people would chuck stuff around as well because they'd notice, oh, hold on, there's a better way. And it's being demonstrated right here before my very eyes. There are people that handle the same situation completely differently. Wow.
So the gaslighting you. Today I did a bit of a press release about a company called WeWe Global, and that's one that Kalpesh went to. And I said in the press release basically that they got done by the IRS or the FBI or whoever it was, and I got OpenChat AI to do a propaganda, you know, WeWe Global has collapsed, all the withdrawals stopped, they found the headquarters, they confiscated all the computers, they found 20 sports cars, you know, Ferraris, Lamborghinis and the like, blah, 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 blah. And then at the bottom I put a disclaimer, and I said, how would you feel if this is actually a real press release? Because this was just a made-up press release. But my point is that, I don't know what my point is. I don't know what my point is. I'm tired. Anyway, I'm going to carry on. But I think my point is really that these Ponzi schemes fall over. These guys try to keep them going as long as they can. This one is going to fall over at any time. But they obviously don't want people to go into these. Oh, I found my point. They don't want people to go into these Telegram groups and promote negatives because it slows the growth of the company. So the amount of pools out there, is it robbing Peter, paying Paul to rob Peter, whatever it is, you know, they can't afford it because the only way these Ponzi schemes continue is by you know, introducing new people because they don't have any product or service. WeWe.global claim to have a phone that's going to be able to mint tokens and also a computer, or you could actually buy a cloud-based software which they sell multiple times. There's no such phones. There's no bit of hardware. However, you can buy them in a pre-sale. You know, these are the scams that these guys do continuously. So what I thought of doing is doing a press release, creating scare, and all these people withdrawing their money as soon as they can. And when this happened, right now, these guys are all panicking and everyone's trying to take their money off the platform because they've suddenly realized that it's a scam, and that's what crippled it. So these guys are out there trying to tell everyone to get into a 90-day marketing plan, talk to 100 people over the next 90 days, get them to watch the Zoom meeting presentations and sign up new people, and this is how they think they can trade out of it, which is disgusting. All right, so I'm going to scoot through. We're not going to do the whole videos. We're going to go to 13 where Keith says something intelligent. Let's have a listen.
Real shame. But nobody can do it for you. We always say that. Nobody can bring out the best version of you for you. Only you can do that. Only you can work on your attitude. Only you can work on your mindset. Only you can work on your actions and your habits and how you show up.
All right, that's enough. So Keith, Kalpesh, get them mixed up. They're like the two Ronnies here. So now Keith gives you a bit of a story about how he used to be really slack, and now he's really good. And he turns up at the meetings all the time, and he's the shining example of what Kalpesh Patel has just been talking to people for the last hour and a quarter. So they've gaslighted everyone in the community. 1,900 people are sitting here because they've been told they must be in here to win. And even the company behind it were telling people that if they want to get rewards, that they needed to be going to these leadership meetings all the time. So we're just going to listen to Keith for a few minutes. We've got 3 more segments, and then we're going to go into the question and answers, and you can watch the entirety of this video at the end.
That you'll remember a couple of highlights and forget the most important points about.
So true, Kalps, because you talk about habits, and I remember when I started in November 2019, I knew I had some habits that had to be adjusted and changed. And one of them is that I would, sometimes be late for appointments. I think we're all guilty of that. We could blame the bus, the tire, whatever, flat tire, whatever, the traffic. We've done that.
So basically what Keith is going to go on about, and I'm not prepared to listen to it again, I've already listened to it once, is basically you be here every meeting. They run 3 meetings a week. If you wanted to be in to win, you basically had to listen to all 3 meetings every week. He's basically claiming that he's there all the time, and you should be as well. So what have we got? Okay, this is quite funny. Keith is quite a religious guy, and this is him sort of using his religion, and a lot of the people in the community have religious belief. They go after the Black African community. In New Zealand, we have an island community, and they trust what people say. So they actually go after those type of people who believe in what people say. And I've had I've literally had hundreds of phone calls from people telling me they believe these guys because they built such a good alliance with them. And it doesn't matter what I say, they will just continue to believe anyway. So here's one of them.
The story of the dog on the nail, the dog sitting on the nail, right?
Oh, you love the dog on the nail one. Here we go. Woof, woof. Hey, Pickle.
The neighbor walks past, says, excuse me, your dog looks really uncomfortable sitting on a nail. And the guy goes, I know. The neighbor says, why don't you move, get the dog to move? Like, why isn't the dog moving? Why is it in pain? It's like, sitting on this nail, it's uncomfortable. You can see it's uncomfortable. It's moving around. Why doesn't it just move? And it's because the dog's too comfortable where it is. Some of us are like that, right? We're in an uncomfortable situation, but we're comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yes.
Don't be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yep. Some of you got some problems around you right now, whether it be loans and credit cards and all sorts of, especially this time of the year. You've got things that are going on in your lives, pressures from family, you've had some, sadness, whatever it is, you're under pressure right now, the kids, whatever it is. But you're managing that pain. It's like a toothache. You're managing
it. Uncomfortable, man.
You've got to get uncomfortable to want to, get rid of the pain. And then you start to change.
Yeah.
It's so important.
You have
So
to
important.
deal with the uncomfortable. Get real. I always say, get real with yourself. Stop talking nonsense to yourself and get real. Get uncomfortable with what's uncomfortable. That's when you do stuff about it. You'll never do anything about anything until you get to a point where you have to do something about something.
Yeah.
So bring it forward.
Yeah.
Why wait till it explodes in your face? Bring the pain forward and deal with it.
We were at that place, and you know, it was painful staying where we were. It was so painful. We had to make a difference, start to change, and that was it. It's more uncomfortable to stay where we were, and we did.
And listen, we are shining examples that anything's possible. Anything is possible, right? And we're not the only shining examples.
No, we're not.
Hundreds and hundreds of shining examples of absolutely transformed lives in this community.
Yeah.
Thousands.
The best stories.
Thousands of stories of massive differences.
Tens of thousands, Kalps, not just thousands, tens of thousands around the world where this platform has made a huge difference to their lives, made a huge difference to where they are and things that are going on around them.
Same.
It's incredible. And that gives me, every day I wake up with a smile because I know so many people are doing so well, so many in 26 months. It's heaven. It's the best place to be.
Listen.
Right, so these guys are the biggest scammers in the world, in my opinion. These guys have defrauded people out of millions of dollars. Keith Williams was taking cash off people, and he was being asked to set up what they call multiple account structures. The multiple accounts was one of the reasons I reckon the Ponzi scheme fell over. They would create 21 accounts so that they would be able to collect the 52% referral fees that were up for grabs when you introduce someone new into it. These guys have taken that money. Theoretically, that's why it all fell over. A Ponzi scheme will not last because it relies on everybody recruiting two people. And if everyone that gets into it doesn't recruit two people, mathematically, it doesn't exist. So these guys that are claiming to be everyone's friend, they're telling everyone how they should act, they have been taking fistfuls of money from people who are asking them to help them out. So people will turn up literally at Keith Williams' place with money, cash, and he would invest it with them. I have heard numerous stories from people who actually have transferred money into other people's bank accounts. If you are someone that invested in HyperVerse, HyperFund, HyperCapital, HyperNation, HyperCosmos, HyperPlanet, and the person that introduced you to it asked you to transfer the money into their account, their crypto wallet, their anything, or provided you financial advice, then I would recommend going and hiring a lawyer and going after them. At least you'll get some of your money back because they provided you financial advice and they also handled your money. Did you transfer your money directly into HyperVerse's account? If you go into your HyperVerse account, if you can still access it, or your HyperNation account, the transaction, the person that helped you set up your account, did you pay 100% of the money into USDT, or was it shared by 50% HVT? Because if Keith Williams set up your account, what they were actually doing is they were using their HVT money that they couldn't withdraw into setting up new accounts. Now, if you went to set up a new account, you could only use 50% of HVT to set up a new account, and then you would fund the rest with real USDT because the system relies on real money coming in to survive. Now, often they would pay that USDT money that you needed to create the account out of their own USD account. And then they would still be up on the deal because they would be charging you full whack, and that would be another way of them getting money out of the system. Now, if you didn't follow that, I'm sorry, but I had to explain that because I have been following this to the edge of its life. So I want to go to I just want to go because these are scammers. They have defrauded people. They have taken people's money, and they, no matter what they say, they have literally stolen from a lot of people. One of my favorite people is a guy called Mike Lucas. Mike Lucas he'd retired at 55 years of age. He was on the sickness benefit. He gave Keith Williams' chain $25,000. He was told he was going to get $75,000 back in 600 days. A friend of his referred him into it, who was in Keith Williams' downline. I was in the New York Times, and I used him as my guinea pig example of a typical person that would invest in this company. I'm on Telegram groups. You can go to the top of this YouTube channel after you subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can go into my Telegram group and you can meet Mike Lucas. Mike Lucas is rampant at trying to get his money back. He's laying in bed every day wishing he never invested and listened to these guys. These guys are dirty, disgusting thieves. I would love to know how much money Keith Williams actually made out of this. There's no such thing of naivety when it comes to a VIP 5. I've had a VIP 5 come to me telling me he was in the church. He used to record the videos for me and give them to me so that I could expose HyperVerse. The reason he was doing that is he introduced 200 people into HyperVerse, and his team was now 6,000 people large. And obviously when it fell over and they started losing all the money, then he felt bad and he thought he would help people recover their money. So his good deed to society was helping Danny to heck with the videos. The guy was recording the videos for me using the church equipment. And then the parish, or the minister of the church, was actually recording the videos because he wanted to feed them to his community, his church people, and encourage them to invest in Ponzi schemes. Can you believe it? That's how corrupt this is. Anyway, let's carry on. We're going to listen to Keith, and then we'll get into the questions and answers.
Wake up every day, passionate about life and positive, but now purpose-driven. If you're not like that, when you get there, it's the best place to be. Every conversation you have outside is a great conversation. Life is great. Everything smells of roses. The sun's out, even if it's grey and dark and rainy. The sun's out.
So let's hope Keith Williams does have cancer. Did I just say that? That sounds terrible. At this point, I watched this video in its entirety, and you can do it at the end of this video. And Kalpesh is sitting there, and you can see him cringing with the bullshit that Keith Williams is saying. You can actually see the hairs on the back of Kalpesh Patel's neck curling or standing up as he goes on and on and on. It was absolutely wicked. So the next one, we're going to get into the question and answer, and I'm going to go straight to a guy called Avtar. And the reason why I want to go into him is because this guy thinks this is the best thing since sliced bread, and I'm going to show you a yin and a yang moment. So let's listen to a guy by the name of Avtar.
Keith, I've never seen you like this before. Something's obviously triggered you up in a way that we've never seen you like this.
2022, my friend. I'm excited.
And I'll tell you something, do I love that. Kalpesh, I'll the next time, but Keith, oh my God, today you were off the Richter scale. And you know what? It needed it to be told. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. So thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
That was needed.
After, thank you. You know what? Sometimes you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was like, "That's it. Let's get down to business, okay, guys? That's what. Well, let's just get down to business. Let's do this. Let's do this together."
So what he's referring to is people in the WhatsApp group is really causing their life hell. No one's been able to withdraw their money, I think, for a couple of months. So people are in hands in the air. They're saying they've been ripped off and they hate the community. And these guys are trying to keep face. And they finally addressed the elephant in the room. I have an elephant. And then people who are real believers are coming in here. Now, everyone that comes in these question and answers, 85% of the people I saw in this video are there every week. And it's like the whole lot's staged. I mean, I'm assuming they get 50 people together and they just stage the whole performance.
Well done, Avtar.
Let me tell you, I was more or less semi-retired before I joined this 4.5 months ago. Talking about what is HyperVerse, the community, what it does for you. But let me tell you what it's doing for me. It has changed my life around completely. This community is not a community. It's a family with love.
That's enough. You watch the whole video if you want. But let's go into the video of the yin and the yang.
Now, can you submit yourself?
So this is Sam Lee. Now, Sam Lee went into hiding, okay? And then he come out. Theoretically, Sam Lee started up something called Hyper One. It never got traction. And I thought, what? Sam Lee's come out of hiding? Sam Lee is an Australian. He started up a company called Blockchain Global. Blockchain Global was owned by a company called Collinstar Capital. Collinstar Capital was owned by Ryan Jew. Blockchain Global managed to get themselves listed on the Australian Stock Exchange. After 3 attempts, they finally got listed on there. They made $50 million. Then all of a sudden, Ryan Jew and Sam Lee disappeared, went over to Dubai. We don't know where they went. I have got photos of Sam, the photo that you can see of Ryan Jew in the center of the 5 people is actually Sam Lee crying on his birthday. I got a video of him vacuuming his apartment. You can see it in my shorts in my video. I also got videos of him singing at karaoke bars. I found out those karaoke bars are actually in America. They're Chinese. They're in New York. So we thought that surely Ryan Jew isn't hiding or under house arrest in America, but we don't know where he is. He's disappeared. Sam Lee come back after trying what we thought. It's a long story, but I'm not going to bore you the whole lot. But we thought he was starting up what we call Hyper One. We thought that was a joke. And then he came out and he made a company called HyperDeo. Stable Deo. Got it right the 3rd time. Long story short, he's trying to steal the community from Ryan Jew and Jaden Wee. I've been following this from day dot. Then he now claims that he can help people get their money back. And he stuck his ugly head up. So Avtar that we've just seen praising, I've seen him on a couple of videos praising how wonderful HyperVerse is, basically goes head to head with Sam Lee. And it's worth watching this little bit. Hopefully you'll see enough of it. I'll just make sure it's on theatre mode. And listen to what he says. I'm only going to play it for a few minutes, but you'll find this video on my YouTube channel. But it was up for grabs whether they let this guy speak to Sam Lee, who's meant to be like God, or not. And Sam said, let him speak.
Hi, Sam. Thank you for being here today with us. To be honest with you, I could give you another 30 questions, but I know time is limited, so I just wanted to say a couple of things.
Thank you.
First of all, we know now 100% the agenda. You're here for the community, not for the community, but you want the community.
Yes.
Let's get that right. You're not here for the community, you want the community back.
Brilliant.
Because as you said, with the community, you can go forward to other businesses and things like that.
Rescam everyone.
Which doesn't sit well with many of us.
That's right.
Of course.
Right.
Yep.
So there's an agenda because let's be honest.
It's talking about the elephant in the room.
You as a captain have been watching this ship sinking.
Yep.
People have been hurting in a real big, bad way.
Good man.
And you've done nothing but sat back and looking at it and looking at it and looking at it. And now, guess what?
Yep.
As you said, I'm back. Yes, of course you're back.
What a joke.
But there's an agenda behind you. You've come back because you want the community back.
Yep.
Now you said you're going to do something else. We've had MOF, we've had Cosmos, we've had all these coins. They've all failed. Something new you're going to start. It's again going to be what? It's going to be a new coin.
No, it's already started.
What guarantee we got in there?
Stable
now,
Deo.
going back to you people, as you said, you and Ryan,
Anyway, I think you get the gist of the idea. He's not a happy man, but as you saw here.
I'll tell you something very, very quickly. I know we've got very precious time. I've got an extended family in this business now. My extended family is all of you, and I've got an extended family in Canada. And that, we spoke last week, and I've never done my own personal Zoom.
All right, listen to the video if you want to. I'm just giving you a taste of what it's like. I'm not going to go on all night long because I haven't even had dinner yet, and it's 10 to 11. I'm going to go to hour 35. You can see other people come on here. This one, there's some real funny stuff coming up, and I've got to be really enthusiastic about it. In hour 35, we get the Postman. Now, he's the dumbest postman in the world. I know all postmen are dumb, but listen to what this guy says.
Like, I put a few things in there this week because it's really like, you know, it boils my...
Oh, my goodness, I've done it wrong. 26 is where I meant to be. 26.48 for me, not you. Let's go back to there. Now, what I meant to say is this guy actually talks money. They never like anyone talking money. So I'm surprised I didn't cut him off, because you only talk rewards, because if you talk money, you need to be a financial advisor. Blah.
Sometimes it took me 1 day to repair a boiler. Now I'm repairing boilers over the phone. 20 years. 20 years.
These guys in here are all VIP 5s. They all have communities underneath them, and they it's shocking.
Later.
Wow.
So this has been 1 month, and they hiccup once on their rewards.
Obviously, they're just trying to say they're not worried about the reward money stopping. It's just a glitch, and that's what they've been told to think, and that's what they're thinking.
And everybody's throwing the towel in. Come on. It's just like you're not getting penalized. You're actually getting paid. You're getting rewarded. What's so difficult to understand about that?
The difficult part is that you can't get your money out. Sorry, I must have got my timing slightly wrong. We're going to be listening to... Oh, no, that's him.
I have the privilege of actually charging my customers for messing up their boilers a bit more until I've learned properly. So, you know, there are two different things in here. But honestly, 5 months, sorry, 6 months is going to be by the middle of this month. I'm already making 3,100 per month doing nothing.
That would have made them their stomachs turn. So he just said he's making $3,100 a month from HyperVerse for doing nothing, which may not sound like a lot. However, when you're in here, you never talk money. So let's go on to the next guy. I just wanted to do a few snippets. We're going to go to, oh, what is that doing naughty stuff for? Let's go to here. We're going to go to 35. Some of this stuff is a crack up, and I'll try not to laugh when it comes out. But here we go. So we've got James. Now, James is the postman, and he's what I call the idiot postman. And he just thinks this is the best thing since sliced bread.
Like you say, it only comes round once in a blue moon, right? I've been in things before where you've had to pay a monthly fee to be in there to make, you know how it is.
Yeah.
And this, my friend, right? You're putting in USDT for a membership that gives you education, right? Education in which you don't even pay for the course in the end anyway, because they're giving you all back, right? And it's like, oh
Incredible.
my God. Like, I've been in there 2 months, right? And I was still positive. But even when they gave us the gifts for Christmas, all right, okay. I'm struggling to merge my accounts at the minute, right? I go up to my upline, JB. JB's my upline, by the way. Hello, JB. I know you're on next. And I'm still not worried. I'm still not worried about it. I'm not worried about anything, like, in regards to HyperVerse. Because at the end of the day, I took the risk by joining. Like many of these people on here on this call today, right? Fantastic. And at the end of the day, if you're only involved with it, and if it all goes to, at least we've had a go at it.
So if it all goes to shit, at least we had a go, eh?
Had a go.
Same.
Wonder how they're feeling right now. The guy's been in it for 2 months, put his money in, never got a return yet, but he's not worried. He's not worried at all. And he's been in other things before that have fallen over, but this one won't fall over. Surely not. I mean, when do you wake up and smell the roses?
What a healthy attitude.
Healthy attitude. Yeah, I've got your money. Keith would have got money from everyone. So Keith and Kalpesh have made a ton of money from this. They are like the lotto winners. They're happy. They're so happy.
We have put ourselves out there, Keith. And, I want to change my life. I'm a postman for Royal Mail, right?
Ooh.
We have worked hard.
Ooh.
Yeah,
those rainy days with those big hats and the umbrellas. Woo-hoo.
That's hard work.
Hard work. Physicality of that job is unbelievable.
Oh, you've been a postman sucks, mate.
We work hard through.
I'd rather sit in front of a computer screen and just watch my money go up every day. It's going to be great. Of course it's going to happen.
The pandemic.
Yes.
I've got to a point now in my life, right? I've had enough.
I've had enough. I just want to sit back and live the dream.
Yeah.
JB gave me the opportunity.
JB looks like the guy on the bottom left. Looks like he's living in a van.
In February, right, of last year. He showed me this opportunity. Did I look at it? No, because I didn't believe in it.
Didn't believe in it, but then I watched the videos and I got brainwashed into it, and now I think JB's a real good guy. Well, not right now, because probably JB is a scumbag who got me into a scam, and I've obviously figured that out. Anyway, the one I really want to go to is Ollie Trew. Now, Ollie Trew tries to tell me I'm not allowed to use his videos because he wants his privacy. Now, I found out today something really interesting about the beat bopper. He used to be a beat bopper, and if you don't know what a beat bopper is, let me try it. How was that, Ollie? Did I do a good job? So now you can go to YouTube and say you want your privacy back, but this was a public video. So give me a privacy complaint. Now, Ollie Trew and his beautiful wife who had a real bad leg accident, who's now sitting here smoking, living in a resort somewhere trying to be relaxed, made a shit ton of money from HyperVerse. I don't know if I explained that, bro, but let's listen to Ollie Trew. I can't wait to hear from you, Ollie. And remember those lovely messages you sent me? You are a good, peace-loving hippie. Yeah. Not really. You're a friggin' thief, bottom feeder of the earth, mate. And here you are. This is at the beginning of your journey. And I'll do other videos as we go through showing the other end of your journey.
Next week. So,
and by the way, Ollie Trew, just saying, I have a full file on everything you've been doing since your business networking days when you were trying to get yourself started and your peace-loving getaway resort things that you do, you know, and you live in, where you living? Mexico. Oh, and if you don't think I'm telling the truth, here's my, so these here are all the people I have databases on. And let's go to Ollie. Let's go Stephen Condos. Let's go him. So just see, so you can see what I have. So this is an Australian scam artist who's into promoting Wee Global. I have videos. Did you notice how many people profiles I actually have? I'm collecting a database on all these scumbags. This guy here, John Bankman, was with Ryan Zhu. He got arrested for doing $120 million worth, and he got arrested in Thailand, I think it was. He messages me, would you believe? And look, and here's his messages. You know, I have all these messages, and I have the correspondence with these people. So I built up a database. So if you want to, you know, piss me off, Ollie, then don't go on the internet and scam people. Just stay off the internet. Anyway, let's not get sidetracked. Let's have some Ollie.
Accountability as well, declaring it to 1,000 partners around the world.
I'm out there in front of over 1,000 people.
I'll put some music on for you, Ollie.
People. Well done. Let's have your story next week align.
Wouldn't you say, Kalpesh, the work we did in the first 6 to 9 months
that's
is what you see now, is manifested? Yeah,
I'm
I've added to it, but the work for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months is here now. Everything, the harvest is real. It's just, you know, overflow.
And I'm grateful for what you did, because without what you did, I would not be here. That's for sure. And the rest of us would not be here.
And
so
we're all
fruit.
fruit. This is the harvest. This is it for all.
Ollie, come on. Let's do it, bro.
Yeah. We are the harvest.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Absolutely amazing. Ollie, how we doing, buddy? Go ahead.
Hey, Ollie.
Go, Ollie.
You beautiful human beings. Oh, I got Shazza in the place. Kalpesh, Keith. Oh my God, guys. I'm in the car. I've been sitting here waiting. I'm like, oh, drinking the cool.
I love it when he does that.
Positive. Keith, that is spectacular. And somehow in my head, I've heard the words, you know, you're 30 per day. I sat here. I was like, did you say 30? 90 per day. Then I looked at Sharon. I was like, it's like 90 per day. Sharon. I was like, imagine what we could create if we did do 90.
Sharon had her boyfriend arrested because he was fiddling with children, I heard. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. But yeah, she's got beautiful taste in men.
A day, you just sat there, you loved on people, and you just went, you know?
You love on people. That's what you do when you're a peace-loving hippie, isn't it, Ollie?
Went to town.
Went to town.
So super loved up.
Super loved up.
I was spectacular.
Spectacular.
With you beautiful human
beautiful people
beings. It was amazing.
I take money from beautiful people and ugly people.
I've spouted out a nice little hyper beard.
Hyper beard. Oh, I love my beard. I'm a Ollie. I'm a scammer.
For you all on this call. And I just feel super, super loved up.
Super, super loved up.
And I want to say on my side what I think is most important.
Tell us, tell us, tell us.
This is about the journey.
Journey? How's your journey?
Not the destination.
Not the destination. I got that off a Grant Cardone video, and he said that, so I just repeat everything I hear from other people.
I think that's what's most sexy. So if we don't get our
mention sexy, everyone loves being sexy. I love being sexy.
Rewards in, how sexy and exciting is it if we look back and we see these...
I'm just going to let Ollie go for it while I let Pixel, my dog, out for a wee-wee, okay? Just give you a minute there to soak in Ollie.
Days where it was a little bit rough, you know, Keith and Kalpesh, it's like people are moaning, the Negatrons are in the group, they're doing their thing, and we find a way through. This is the beautiful blessing. It's the journey, everybody, not the destination. I'm something like 20% away from VIP 5 now.
Whoa!
Oh, wow.
There you go. The journey. There you are. The journey.
Beats that make
friggin' hilarious, ain't you? Anyway, that's enough of him. Right, we're going to go to Sharon James. Sharon James is going to tell us how much money she put into it. Oh, we might as well. Oh, no, we won't. We'll forward a minute. So Sharon put in a whole lot of money. Tell us how much money you thought you'd put in, Sharon.
Now I remember. So what it was, guys, do you remember when we first logged in January when HVT came in? Do you remember? And you were like, because these guys surprise us and force us to be educated. They're like, they force you to do shit that you don't want to do. So I saw the HVT and I was like, oh my God, good it is. So I'm telling you guys, 35 grand straight in. Boom. And I just went, well, it actually was 20 grand. And then I thought, sugar, I should have done more. And then I added another 13 or something.
She's not very good of a mass, is she? So if you put 20 grand in and then you put 13, that's 33,000. But she said originally she put 35,000 in. But when you put that much money in, how much do you get back, Sharon?
And it's made around 8K.
Oh my God, that's great. You put $33,000 into a Ponzi scheme. They used $33,000 of your money to pay you back rewards, and she's got 8,000 back. So that means that she's out of pocket 21,000. Is that right? Hold it, 8,000. I don't know. Anyway, is that not? I'm not true. I might be like Sharon, not really good with money.
So what I'm telling you is, don't be scared of the HPT because it is going to be a monster. So that's what Kalpesh and Keith, I think these words were needed to be said.
They needed to tell the community to pull their head in and stop being negative Nancy's.
I think they were needed. I've had a couple of people say things in my group. You know what? It's New Year. Let them. They're a bit rusty, but I'm telling you now. Also, don't be persuaded by the grass is greener on the other side.
So at this time, there was another company called Novatech and also WeWe Global and GS Partners. These are other Ponzi schemes, and people were potentially enticed to jump the fence. So this is Sharon's words of wisdom.
Be careful, because people will say, oh, that's not working now. Join this company. This is better. Trust me, there is nothing. Them opportunities, what you have been offering today, I will stand here from an experienced person in the online industry, and I've seen.
Sharon has a criminal record. Oh, actually, I don't know if that's true. I think it was her partner. I get that wrong. I thought she did. I couldn't find one, but I got told that and I researched it. So let's just take that back off the record. Sharon doesn't have a criminal record yet, but I think she's got done for something. I can't remember. Might be somebody else. Anyway, she's obviously into promoting Ponzi schemes, which, if you haven't been keeping up with current events, risky stuff. What did I stop and pause that for?
The good, the bad.
Oh, that's right. She's telling people not to jump the fence, not to go into another Ponzi scheme, because they only last for 6 months. And that was why HyperVerse was such a major one, because it managed to last, like Keith said, it was in November 2019. So it's been going for a long time. So they just thought that it wouldn't stop, but there's not enough Peters to pay Pauls. So all the other Ponzi schemes, she's correct. One of them was Vidilook. and they only lasted 6 weeks. Novotel actually had lasted for 2.5 years, and they still believe it's going to work one day. And then you've got GS Partners, which is actually still going, who claim to be part of a big bank, because they're all getting into banks now, because all the banks aren't letting people take out their crypto. So we'll just start up a new bank, and everyone that wants a bank will, you know, they're just, there's rinse and repeats all over the place. Check out my videos. Binge watch all my videos, okay? That would be great. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll be notified when new videos come out. Please also provide a comment. Did you like my video?
And the ugly. Trust me.
Trust Sharon.
In 6 months, they will not be around.
Oh, and how come HyperVerse? Oh, that's right. HyperVerse is not around either. HyperNation, let's rename it. Oh, no. Hyper Capital, Hyper Fund, HyperVerse, Hyper Nation, Hyper Cosmos, Hyper Planet. How many name changes do they need? I think they've even got Hyper Store, I've heard of at the moment. It's just ridiculous. But trust Sharon, okay? Trust Sharon.
So don't be persuaded to join the next best thing, because it will not work long term.
Oh, you heard it from Sharon. All right, so let's see. Keith has to go pretty soon. Keith has to go in 3 minutes' time. So let's forward 3 minutes. There's Grandpa Crypto. He does not. We are going to hear from Grandpa Crypto, but not just yet. We're going to go back and we're going to listen to Keith tell us that he's got to go to an event that Clayton Ford is putting on. It's Clayton Ford at this time had only been in HyperVerse for 16 months, and he had managed to get 6 VIP under his belt. He is putting on a black tie event, and it should be between 200 or 300 people attending. This is what Keith is about to tell us. Now, Clayton Ford and Ruben Headborn is actually now providing people a way of getting their one-time reward money back. So if you put $1,000 in and you never got any of that money back, then they are offering you a way to get your money back. Now, there is class action lawsuits, which I don't personally believe in. I think it's a waste of time even thinking that you can get your money back from any organisation, because there's no one to sue and there's no money left. So that's just a joke. Anyway, Clayton Ford is now telling people to sign up for a credit card. Do not do this. And the credit card is going to give you money back once you put money on it and you pay your bills with it. Yes, it's like a real credit card. We've gone the full circle. Now, if they do actually give you real money back, somebody had done due diligence. It's in my community area of my website. So go to my website, not my website, my YouTube account, and click on community, scroll down a little bit, and you'll find an announcement from someone who did due diligence. And they rang up Visa and MasterCard, and they did a big investigation and found out that the credit card that these guys, Clayton Ford, is offering doesn't actually exist. It's not anywhere. It's just a total scam. Okay, you heard it here first.
And now you just got this certainty about you. I just know what I'm doing and where I'm going. It's just great to see that. Great. I've seen you from day one. Brilliant to see, brother. Kalps, before we go on to Andy, thanks, Hassan. I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. I'm off to a big event. Mr. Clayton Ford has got a big event for the team, maybe 300. And in 15 months, maybe 16 months, what he's done, he's produced 6 VIP 5 stars. It's incredible. So it's a black tie event. I want to say thank you all for listening to
Point of me talking about Clayton Ford is he's obviously made a ton of money. And a lot of these guys are going to slip through the cracks in the floorboard because there's so many people involved in this, and I've got them all in my database. Yeah, it's a shame. They just seem like they're going to get away with it.
Me for a leadership that was needed. I think that we had to say what we had to say today because I get up every day and I'm grateful, guys. For
I'm not going to listen to you anymore. Anyway, so I want to go to Andy. I'm going to read his name out, so my computer's going to do that. Brace yourself.
Andy Vining, Grandpa Crypto.
Andy Vining, Grandpa Crypto. Now, this guy's got to get a camper van, travel around, I think he said Wales, and offer free lunches to people who want to have meetings with him, who want to sign up for the scam. So let's go and listen to him rave on about that. I think it's about 45. That should be perfect. Let's have a listen to Grandpa Crypto.
Ciao, ciao.
brother. Yeah.
Now, I've had other people do videos about Grandpa Crypto, and he does his best to get them offline. So it's quite funny. Somebody did a whole video on him. I can't even remember the guy's name now, who was a legend at the time, and he busted these balls of this guy, something wicked. Anyway, don't underestimate somebody just because they're a grandpa.
All right, so
as soon as I'm due to a beer.
Now, just a bit of a background. Grandpa Crypto is a very successful businessman. The things that he's done in the past are just overwhelming. And you can see his simmer frame in the background. What I'm getting at is he must love business and being entrepreneurial, because why would somebody in the 80s want to go out there and live their legend as a scammer?
He's disappeared, but that's good.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Kathy. A couple of little things, really. One that I love is that here I am, sitting in my home down in Hampshire, and the number of people that I've seen on this today that I've actually met. Is Jude coming up in a minute. We've all been together in Dubai.
So this is the thing to remember. All these guys have been together in Dubai. There's 1,900 people in this Zoom meeting. They have an overflow room for 900 of them. There's 1,000 people in the main room. Why are the same people every week, the same people be able to talk? Everyone else is sitting here being gaslighted by these people. It infuriates me. Most of these people, I don't know the MizDough, but you wait until you listen to her story. Let's get rid of Grandpa Crypto. If you want to watch the whole lot, please just go to the start and watch the whole lot from A to Z. I think it's just over 2 hours, 2 hours and 9 minutes this recording of their Zoom meeting was. But let's go to this. I think out of all the people I've listened to, this has to be the funniest one I've ever heard before. This lady is taking money from people in crypto. She's taking money from people who are in prison and setting up their HyperVerse accounts for them. And it's hilarious. She also must have been in the community and pissed off Brenda Chunga, who put her back in line. I'm trying to get to the right place. My apologies. 58, wasn't it? I got no memory. 58. That does it. All right, have a listen to this lady's story. It's a cracker. Excuse if I start laughing.
That's good, Calps.
Hey, how we doing?
Always a pleasure to see you. Oh my goodness. Rolling. Okay, so we only got a little time. We got to say this quickly. So behind me, I started my 90-day challenge, ran out to Walmart, grabbed a board, and the 10 people a day are on the board, the YouTube video every day. It tells me to rebuy right there. Just a bunch of stuff. So that's like my happy wall back there.
She's in the cult. She's doing everything. Kalpesh is going to be smiling. At this time, Kalpesh is about to actually resign from HyperVerse, and he's had enough. So his facial expressions, when you know this, are priceless.
I just want to say that I made a comment to a friend at home, and it got misconstrued with another leader. And, you know, Brenda told me, and it was very powerful what she said to me. She
said, shut the beep up and stop saying bad things on the community or it'll kick you out.
Just don't be nervous. And if you are nervous, don't talk about it, because things will get misconstrued. You're one of the leaders, okay? And so I like to take time to apologize for anything that got misconstrued and take the days and move on, because we can't keep looking at yesterday. We have to move on for tomorrow.
You're right, Jeremiah G. Righteous. Next time, notice my glasses. You can see my eyes. This lady needs to get the reflective thing put on her glasses, and she'll be making millions of dollars now, because HyperVerse will still be going at the time of this recording, and she'll be able to just go out and get herself a new pair of glasses. But notice the difference between my glasses and you can see my eyes. You can't see her eyes, and it really annoys people like YouTubers like me.
So with that said, your signups can come from the strangest places now. I don't
listen to this. Listen to this. This is classic.
I don't have a lot of people on my team, but I
don't have a lot of people on my team.
Still make enough money to pay my light, rent, gas, car note, and everything else I need to.
Well, boom. She's probably a $3,100 winner.
I mentioned this opportunity to my nephew, who is currently, unfortunately, he's incarcerated.
Yep. She just said what you think she said. Her nephew is in jail.
And he called me 9 times.
9 times her nephew called her. 9 times. Imagine how many 5-cent pieces that would have been going by the Blues Brothers.
In 1 hour.
In 1 hour.
So he could hear the presentation.
So we could hear the presentation of HyperVerse.
And I played it over the phone.
Boom.
Okay.
Wow.
I got these checks all of a sudden from this place.
Oh my God. The correction facility has sent out checks for convicts who want to invest in HyperVerse. What does this tell you about HyperVerse? Oh my God, this is the most funniest thing Danny's ever seen. This is hilarious.
He invested in his HyperFund account from the facility through me. Okay. So I told him, okay, Auntie will match you if you send me a check for X amount of dollars. So now I'm matching him so that when he comes home, I'll be doing his rebuys. I'll do all this stuff. And when he comes home, I'll be able to turn his account over to him. I get a call last night. 4 more people want to join HyperFund.
Oh my God. So 4 more people want to join HyperVerse who are in prison. This scam went everywhere.
Is that crazy or what?
We'll take money from anyone. We don't have any ethics.
I love that.
I love it. Keith and Kalpesh are now off to the prisons to do their presentation videos. You can see them in the visitor centre with their holding up their phone, playing the presentation. Would you like to invest in HyperVerse?
We did the presentation over the phone.
Wow.
Awesome.
Sounds like the Jehovah's Witnesses will always find a way. Jehovah, I love you.
So,
in case you didn't wonder, I'm actually an ex-Jehovah's Witness, got kicked out when I was 23 years of age. I hate them. Just wanted to make that clear.
I'd like to thank God for the opportunity.
Oh, thank God for the opportunity that I can take money from people in a prison and put them into a Ponzi scheme. That is justice. Right, so we've done her. And the very last lady, this lady here did my head in, so I don't want her to do your head in. She's on 48, and she just kept going and keep going.
What about Jude? How are we doing?
Hey, hi, Kalpesh. Long time no see, my friend.
Yeah, you got back home.
Oh, my God. So...
God, I'm not even going to let you listen. If you want to listen to this lady, that is great. Just basically just put it on a loop and go over and over and over again. She doesn't make any sense, but basically she got COVID, life sucks, and that's me. That's basically an introduction to the video that was recorded January the 8th, 2022. I might have said 2021, but I forgot that we're in 2023. These professionals like Keith Williams and Kalpesh Patel are gaslighting the community. They're manipulating the community. They build up trust with people. A lot of the people that you saw in these videos, they made a ton of money. So like Ollie Trew, my mate, I mean, they made money out of this. You know, like a guy rang me up. He'd made, I think, $180,000, could be $200,000 from introducing. No, it was $200,000 for introducing 180 people into HyperVerse. And then his team grew into 6,000 people. So he had made that much money. So in the video before this one, part 4, they were gaslighting people into doing a 90-day campaign. And the purpose of that was to recruit new people. This Ponzi scheme had been going for over 2 years, since Keith had been in it with another lady called Amanda Lee, who's an Australian lady. And I've watched their videos. I've got one of them. If you keep scrolling through my videos, you'll find one that was recorded in 2020. And it was Amanda Lee and Keith Williams. And they only had 100 people in these Zoom meetings. Now, there was other communities that were promoting HyperVerse as well. It wasn't just the HyperCommunity, but this was one of the largest ones or the larger ones, I'm not sure. They claim that 1.5 million people had invested in HyperCapital, HyperFund, HyperVerse, HyperNation, HyperCosmos, HyperPlanet, HyperMall, I think it's called. No, Hyper, whatever it was. Too many hypers. But what my point is, it could be quite possibly 1.5 million. Some of them said 2 million people had invested in this Ponzi scheme. That's $4 billion. 52% of the money theoretically could have gone off the platform and paid back to the multi-level marketers. If you do a search on YouTube, you will find people telling you about a really good investment opportunity. If you go into their description of their videos, you will see they have an affiliate link with a code at the end of it. It's a gobbledygoo number that looks like something like, it might be Jimmy the Cricket, it might be Z1856784. You click on it, you sign up, you put money in it, straight away, Potentially 50 or more % of that money goes back to the person who refers you into it. So people are getting rewarded for producing content like I'm doing. I have never invested in a Ponzi scheme or a scam. I've never gone into one of these get-rich-quick opportunities. When I first started doing these videos, I honestly thought people were in it because they wanted to get rich quick. They were listening to opportunities that were too good to be true. You've heard those sayings before. I'm repeating other people's thing, but it wasn't. A lot of people have been isolated at home because of COVID. They've been introduced to Zoom, and that was their new happy place. And then these criminals come along in Zoom and create meetings and create communities, and they create a family. And then people were told about an opportunity. People out of desperation invested into these Ponzi schemes and scams. I'm Danny DeHeck, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. I'm out here on a mission, naming and shaming anyone running, promoting a Ponzi scheme or a scam. That's how I survive. Please do subscribe to this YouTube channel. Please provide a comment, anything. I will reply to you personally. You know, if you hit the thumbs up button, it tells Google you like my video. If you've watched to this end, I thank you for your time. That also helps. Hey, look, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fade this video in. This video has taken me an hour 22. I've got carried away once again. I do long form YouTube videos. People who go out for a run or a jog will listen to this video. People who drive on a holiday will listen to this video. You are my target audience. Thank you for listening if you've got this far. I will now fade out. I will fade into the full length video, and hopefully you enjoy listening to these guys. Do not think these guys are genuine people. They are the bottom feeders of the world. They've had years of training of multi-level marketing. Kalpesh Patel now lives in Dubai. I got told on the 56th floor of some penthouse apartment. Keith Williams claims he's got stage 4 cancer. People like Clayton Ford we don't hear of. People like Des Amy we don't hear of. People like Susan Lewis we don't hear of. I have got a whole database of anyone that's been connected to HyperVerse. If you have any information, I just got someone trying to sue me in the New Zealand High Court for defamation for $3.8 million, claiming that I have defamed him. An hour and a half before a judge ruled or got to look at the evidence that we provided, the guy filed a discontinuance. And now we're hopefully going to be awarded next Friday that they need to pay my legal fees. Probably never see the money. It doesn't matter. I'm here. There's a whole network of people like me out there exposing these scams. Let's join together as a task force and let's bring down these scammers. Let's make people aware of someone who's in front of a camera like me who's trying to scam your money out of you so we can stop people from losing their money. All right, so I'll fade in now. Thank you for watching the video and hope you enjoy the 2 hours and I think it was 9 minutes worth of video. Let's have that. Yes, 2 hours, 9 minutes and 42 of video. I'll go have my dinner now. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the video.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome to Leadership Training on Saturday afternoon. It's the leadership training. Myself, Keith Williams, of course I'm not Kalpesh, and Kalpesh Patel, very sorry. Is Kalps there with me? I was thinking for a minute, I'm morphed into Kalps. I am. Are you, mate? I was thinking Kalps, and I thought, how are you, my friend? You're looking fantastic.
Amazing, thank you. Yourself?
I'm just jacked, so buzzed right now. What a great start to the year. The first 7 days of the year has been fantastic, and I am so happy. We are now firmly into 2022, and we spoke a few days ago. Things are going great, huh?
Amazing. I mean, just a lot of time reflecting, as we did last week. We discussed this, didn't we? Reflecting the last 12 months. For those of us that have been blessed enough to have been here for 12 months or longer, goodness, what a year 2021 was. But good, when I look at 2022, even I I'm one of the greatest dreamers I know. And even I'm pushed to stretch myself to fathom what's possible in 2022. Like really what these guys are pulling out of the hat now. Everything they've done from the day that we've engaged with this company has been extraordinary. What they've announced a month ago and the pivot that they made, the transition that they've made in the last month to allow us to do something in 2022 that hasn't even been dreamt of until now is mind-blowing. It's boggling. It's exciting. And goodness, I've just been in massive, massive creation mode the last few days of this, at the beginning of this year, and really stretching my own boundaries, my own limitations.
We've experienced two New Years. We had 2021 and now 2022. And this is the most excited I've been. And we've done some fantastic things. You guys have done amazingly well. The last year, 2 years has been incredible. The first year was a lot of building, a lot of foundation work. We know that. But I can tell you this now, Kalps, this new year and what's coming down the pipe, it's so exciting. I've got goose pimples everywhere. I can't believe it. I don't know how I contain myself because it's so exciting. Every day you hear stuff about the metaverse and NFTs and gaming and the new world and Internet 3.0. And it just blows my mind because we are right at the front end. We made the move at the right time. And that's so important to understand, guys. We didn't sit around. We didn't react. We're proactive. We made the moves at the right time. Although, of course, change can be painful, at times can be difficult, can be challenging. But I can tell you this now, guys, there's no growth without change and without a little bit of pain. And we need that. And that's why I'm so excited because we're getting through things. I was on my back office today. The server's so quick. Everything loads up so quickly. I don't know if you've experienced that, but from what it was before, and I just go in, it just goes boom, 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 boom. It's like, wow. So slowly but surely they're working through the challenges, but I'm more excited about the future and what we're going to bring in this ecosystem, but now the HyperVerse. That's exciting. The ecosystem's great, but it's being a galaxy explorer that I'm excited about. Can't wait to get my goggles on and off I go exploring. Fantastic.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's going to be insane, right? So I've been doing loads of learning around the subject as we do, just so that we can get a better grip and an idea on what's about to happen. But you know what, community members, there's 1,000 of you here today. Zoom locked out as always. Leadership Zoom locked out very early. And make sure you've got all of your teams on the overflow. Make sure that they all get this because the early trainings of the year, all trainings are awesome, right? But in terms of how humans work and how we engage ourselves, this time of the year is foundation building time. It's building dreams, getting clear on your goals, getting clear on your vision, your direction, getting clarity on what's possible for you so that you can go out and take the kind of action that only you can take to give yourself the kind of rewards that only you can receive. And so each and every one of us has that ability. So take advantage of leverage. Your teams need to be on these calls. The more of your teams you have at any event, presentations, trainings, whatever's going on, the more plugged in your team members are, the more leverage you have. Just understand that one simple concept. It's a concept that a lot of people struggle with. You get it conceptually, but to understand it is another process. And so just understand there's only so much you're going to do. You are limited by virtue of you being just you on your own. However good you are, you're limited. But when you get leverage, you can be average and produce extraordinary results. You can be below average and produce above average results when you tap into leverage. All right. So understand this one thing. The more of your team you get plugged in, the quicker you get to where you want to get to. Really is that simple. All right. So yes, you attending is amazing. That's the first tick box. Got to be, you got to be in it to win it yourself. But then how many can you get on it with you? How many can you inspire, motivate, encourage, get committed to show up with you. That's the name of this game, right? So let 2022 be the year that you master that skill of duplicating yourself, so that you know every time you show up, your army shows up with you. Every time you're on a presentation, they are on a presentation with you, with their guests, because you're there with your guests. Yeah.
Leaders lead, Kalps. They lead, and you have a team that follow you. And guys, they are watching you every step of the way. If you don't show up, well, you know, the leader didn't show up, I don't need to show up. You know, and that's what's happening. That's happening in your team. They're watching you, and you are the example for your team. You're all leaders on here, and you're the example for your team. So they will do as you do, not as you say. This is not management mode. You don't go into management mode. When was the last time you've been on training, and you are sitting at home, chilling out, watching Netflix, having a bag of chips and a Coke? That's not gonna cut it, guys, if you really, really want to lead. And being on here, I assume you're all leaders and you want to lead your team, however large or however small it is. It doesn't matter. It's still a team. Team of one, still a team. You know, you are leading your team. So you set the example. You even set the pace for your team as well. And that we can cover that a bit later on, because we're talking about the first quarter of this year. How do you set the pace for your team? How do you get them all going in the same direction, helping the wheels turn faster and keeping up with you? Because you're the ones who set the pace of your team. Your activity determines how fast you grow and how fast your team grows. You've got to think about that, guys. That's what leaders do. They show up.
So on that note, quick question, nice and early this time. We made some promises to ourselves last week. How are we showing up? How are we showing up? How many of you did what you promised yourself last week that you would do in your first 90 days? We created a 90-day, well, you created a 90-day game plan. And just understand this, if you haven't started on the 90-day game plan immediately after last week's training, then you have fallen into the trap that so many people fall into, which is I'll start tomorrow. And that little procrastination in the back of your mind that creeps into your life and takes over and stops you from just getting started. Whatever the excuse is, I'll start once the kids are back at school. I'll start once the weather warms up a little bit. I'll start once I'm back from holiday. I'll start whatever comes after, I'll start. And then the story you give yourself, that's the bit that you want to eliminate. All right. I'll start once I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm still a bit groggy. You know, ate too many pies over Christmas. Immune system went down, caught a bug. And I'm just going to wait until the bug's completely out of my system. It's just nearly there, but it's not quite there. I'll need a few more days. You know, you don't. Not to pick up the phone and say, listen, I'm a bit groggy, but you've got to get on a Zoom tonight because, you know, there's something happening you need to have a look at. That's all it takes. All right. It's okay to do it while you're a bit groggy. You don't have to have the perfect voice and the perfect everything to get started. And a lot of people fall foul of that. We think that, you know, everything needs to be perfect before we start, and it doesn't. Nothing's ever perfect. Just get started. Like if you're a week down, do you know, how do I explain this? Like the concept of you can never catch up the time that you've lost. So an analogy I'd like to give is years ago, I learned about this when I was selling insurance, and it blew my mind when they trained us on this. That if you start your retirement fund, if you start funding your retirement in like at the age of 23, then how tiny your monthly payment is. And if you just wait till you're 25, how much it bumps by. And if you just wait until you're 30, it's astronomical. Like you can never catch up those 7 years at the back end. The impact to produce the same result, like 7 years, starting 7 years early at the back end is like starting 50 years early. Like you'd have to do 50 times as much, pour 50 times as much into the pot by doing it later than if you did it in the early days. The power of getting started, the week you've lost, if you didn't do what you said you were going to do, you'll have to do like already double what you could have done last week. You'll have to do double that just to keep up with yourself to hit your 90-day target. Like when you fall behind, you fall behind faster or at a faster rate than the amount that you're falling behind. So it's not 7 days. If you're behind 7 days in real terms, you'll have to do 14 days work to catch up that 7 days. It's never worth it. It's the compound effect of effort. You can never catch up. The longer you leave it, the more impossible it becomes to catch up. Like, just get that. If you want to put yourself out of misery, get started yesterday in anything. The minute you get started, you're ahead of the curve, your own curve and anyone else's. The real leaders do more than they were supposed to do in the first week. Like, if you did double in your first week, what you said you were going to do, you can probably take 2 weeks off at the back end. You buy yourself time. Like, the power of that is so profound. So just understand how the mechanics of this thing works and, get your groove on. So how has your first week been given, in terms of your promises? And you know what? I've got a feeling Sharon's going to say something valuable here. So I'm just going to bring you in nice and early, Sharon. I've got a feeling you're going to tell us something that's going to inspire us. How are we doing?
Hello.
Hey.
Hello, Sharon. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. How are you?
Happy New Year.
He's put me on the spot. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Getting started.
I just had a feeling that you're the kind of person who would have just got started. You're not hanging about, right?
No. Do you know what? I'll be honest with you guys. I mean, listen, let's be brutally honest here. Christmas has been, it's a time for family and we're all a little bit rusty. The best of us are rusty, aren't we? Let's not lie about it. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do this. So I say, your biggest vice, do little and often and just start doing something every day, even if it's one call, one message, and grow. And what I had to do, I'm telling you, I was so rusty after Dubai and Christmas. I was like, oh my God, I need to wake up. So what I've been doing is really connecting with the team. And I've been listen, I'm back. I was on a call funding somebody at 12 o'clock last night. So guess what? I am back. I'm back in business, back building mode. Somebody put in the group, in my Telegram group, Sharon, you can take a rest. God bless him. Pip Millionaire. He's been helping on the group. And I went, rest? Listen, I'm back, mate. I'm not resting now. So I think that most people, shake off that December blue. Open up January. I mean, to me, January, I love this month. It's my birthday month. I'm not going to tell you how old I am. So January's always been a woe month for most people. But for me, as a child, I could never wait for January because it was always on birthday. I'm not so keen now as the years are ticking by. But I think, Kalpesh, the doers, I can't believe I caught your comment on Facebook and I had put one up and it's about, be amazing. And the doers, if you're not a doer, what does that mean? That you need to start, I've seen some negativity in the groups and I'm like, they're the ones who bring negativity. And then as soon as everything's working fine, they're the ones going, hip, hip, hooray. Listen, guys, give the guys a bloody break, right? HyperVerse has been transformed straight over and we just need to really break it down and say, step back, watch it grow. Somebody said to me today, but I don't want 5% of my coins going to HTV. I said, are you for real? Are you crazy? Do you realize what HVT is? Guys, it's going to be the main coin used in the HyperVerse. It's going to be worth a fortune. And I said to this guy, look, imagine this. Let's take a note of this. Imagine withdrawing today, okay? And you've got 5% of your HU being converted over into MOF, 95%, 5% goes in HVT. Imagine in 6 months' time, that 5% that you took could be the 100% value of the withdrawal in the next few months. How does that sharpen you. How it's like getting involved with Bitcoin all over again, isn't it? I'm super, super excited. And also, let me tell you this, a guy messaged me yesterday and I couldn't believe I hadn't seen it. Let me just, let me get the name of this film. I really, really want you all to watch it. I watched it again last night. Like I said, I don't really watch films, but I had to watch this because I was like, Sharon, you need to watch this. And I realized I'd watched it, but not for a while. And it's called, guys, write this down. Have you seen a film called Ready Player One? Oh my God. It is, all right. I mean, it is unbelievable. It is a film that you need to watch because it's just going to give you a taste of what's going to be happening in the HyperVerse. Have you seen it, Kalpesh? Have you seen it?
I haven't watched it. I know.
I'm going to watch it. I've been told about it about 3 or 4 times. Sounds like something I've got to take a look at.
It is, and I watched it again last night. It was after I'd funded the guy. I only went to bed about 3:30, and I ended up watching it late. And I was like, oh my God! And do you know what? It's so weird. When I watched it this time, I got it.
Wow!
I really got it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is what we're going to be doing. I haven't decided what avatar I'm going to be yet. I'm really excited.
Love it. Thank you.
Thanks, Sharon.
Beautiful. There you go. So look, Ready Player One. It's on the list.
Can I just address something, Cal? I want to get something off my chest. I did have a little look through Telegram. I did it last week. Some of you might have seen me active on Telegram.
You know not to do that.
I shouldn't be, but I just woke up and I thought, that's it, I've had enough. And it was more to do with technical training and members not turning up for technical training. So we got that out. I got that out of my system. But in a couple of days now, I've been reading about all this. This is not working. That's not working. And here's my attitude. Please do not send me a personal message. Yes, I am available. It doesn't mean that I give you permission to message me whenever you like about stuff. I will not respond to you. Here's what I will say as well. This is not applying to those of you who've been in for less than 6 months, okay? Understand that this does not apply to anyone on this leadership today that's been in our platform, in our program for less than 6 months. The rest of you, listen very carefully. You've been here more than 6 months, so you've had 6 months of rewards, which you had the choice to either withdraw monthly, weekly, depending on the size of your membership, but you've been there more than 6 months. So they have fulfilled a promise to you, which they've given you back 1 time. Now, listen to me very carefully. Most of you on here completely lost sight of what your membership cost you, the acquisition of that membership, what the amount was. Don't ever lose sight of that, because a lot of the members who are complaining have been in the membership program for more than 6 months. And here's my attitude to each and every one of you. The pending rewards are what I would call a promise. It's not a guarantee, it's a promise. And if you've been here more than 6 months, you made a decision to do rebuys so that you can grow that pot. And some of you have been rebuying for 8 months, 10 months, 12 months. You've turned your pending into this huge sum. And all of a sudden, it's like, they owe me this. Here's what I say. This is my mindset and my attitude. If you've been here for more than 6 months, you made a conscious decision to do rebuys. You made a conscious decision not to do any withdrawals. If you've not done any withdrawals, well, you should start thinking about doing withdrawals as soon as they become available and get your 1 times out. Now, after that, doesn't matter what happens. That will certainly quieten all the naysayers, the whiners, the ones with lack of belief. It's all good. It's all, the world has ended. These guys have run off. I've seen this before. Guys, Kalpesh and I have been here 26 months. I can tell you this now. We've seen a lot in the industry. And what we see here is a company that's trying its hardest to deliver, and deliver in a way that doesn't disrupt us too much. It's like changing a flat tire while the car is going at 60 miles an hour. But they've been doing it. And as I said, if you have been here for more than 6 months, in the last 6 months, you made a conscious decision either to rebuy or to withdraw or to do nothing. If you've done nothing, then guess what? You can start to withdraw as soon as it all becomes nice and tidy. But I don't want to hear from those members. And I said, this doesn't apply to members who have been here less than 6 months. I get that. So you might be a little bit worried. And I feel sorry for those members listening to the older members, the members who have been around, the more mature members for 8 months, 10 months, 12 months, 15 months, 18 months, 2 years, who have at least had 2x, 3x, 4x, 10x, 50x, 100x, and some are way off the Richter scale. Yet, this is where the greed kicks in. It's like, oh, they owe me, I want. And I want you guys to understand, please do not send me a message thinking you're going to have a shoulder to cry on. This shoulder is not a crying shoulder. I'll give it back to you so you understand. Be grateful. Every day you should get up with an attitude of gratitude. I am grateful every single day. I give thanks 5, 6, 7, 10 times a day. Even before this call, I gave thanks because I can tell you now, it's very difficult outside. A lot of people have had a terrible 2 years. And we have been blessed with the opportunity that has, well, quite frankly, we've never seen anything like this ever. And yet we got whiny, moany individuals who've been here for more than 6 months. Some of them are at VIP 1, 2, 3, 4. Shocking, completely shocking. Why? Because it's no longer about what I put in, it's about what I can get out. I'm telling you this now, guys. We have seen opportunities that have come and gone, and they had no care or attention for compliance, legal, or anything. These guys are dealing with everything they need to deal with so that we have an opportunity that doesn't just last another 12 months. How about 5 years down the road? How about another 5 years, guys? Would you be happy with that? Would you put up with a slight bit of aggravation now to know that you've got 5 more years as we grow this wonderful platform, fantastic opportunity? And I'm saying this to you now, guys. If you've been here less than 6 months, I can understand you might be a little bit worried because it looks like something you've done before. But the more mature members should be encouraging those that have been here for less than 6 months that it's all okay. It's going to be okay. They do deliver on their promises. They do get things right. And as far as I'm concerned, okay, if you are one of those individuals that write on Telegram, and I know who you are, don't get me wrong, and I know who you are. And if you are doing that, my question to you is why? You're doing okay. Personally, you're doing okay. But here's the problem, Calps. They're focused on pending. Oh, that's mine. I want it. I want it. It's mine. Guys, there's no guarantees here. It's just a promise. A pending means it's going to come if everything works fine. But if you've been here more than 6 months, you made a conscious decision to do rebuys, to rebuy maybe the hell out of it. Some of you have been rebuying from day one. Gosh, your pending rewards is probably like 5, 6, 7 times what you started with. And now you're looking at the pending as mine. Get a grip, everyone. Absolutely get a grip and understand that, you know, we're all grown-ups here. We know what we're doing. And spare a thought for the new members that have only just been in for a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months. And there's a section of those guys that need to hear from us, the more mature members, the more successful members, so that we can give them some encouragement. But no, we want to point fingers. This is not working. That's not working. My internet went down yesterday. You know, it was horrible. What do you want me to do? Phone the telecoms company and say, I want a refund, and what are you doing, and get your engineer out. They said, oh, we'll get someone down to you next week. Had to 4G, had to tether. So it happens. Stuff happens. Thanks, Tracy. You understand where I'm coming from. But as I said, it winds me up, Calps, and I shouldn't do it. But of course, occasionally you go through Telegram and you think, oh, usual suspects. And some of them are just piping up and jumping in. Guys, please. You know, as I said, you know what Calps, we've done 26 months here. We've seen it all. Oh, listen, and we can compare this opportunity with the stuff that have really, have been wrong on all levels. These guys are getting things right. So that is it. Nothing more needs to be said about it. If you are on Telegram and you're adding to the noise, please don't come back to leadership. Stop your rebuying completely. No more rebuys. and take your time to learn how to withdraw and get the hell out of Dodge if you feel it's Dodge. Okay? Because that's how I feel right now. Done. Off my chest. Finished. I've already tackled technical training last week. Now I've tackled your mindset, your attitude, and what this really is about. Is it about your greed or helping other people to get out of their hole and their situation? Focus on others, not on yourself and the fact that, oh, you need. Rubbish. Done. Finished.
Wonderful. Look at that. There you go. But, very valid point. If you have been around and you've seen the transitions that this company's gone through successfully over time, then your job right now is to let people know, hey, don't worry about it. These guys deliver every single time. That's just who they are. It's what they do. And there's nothing to be concerned about. So that's the message you want to be taking out there, or no message, right? It's either that message or no message. What you don't need to be doing as members is throwing 2 pence into every conversation. Keith, you're a brave man going into Telegram. I'll tell you that. I
was so tempted yesterday, Kalp, but I know there's so many of them just all jumping. It's like the old barrel of crabs. They're all trying to, it's nonsense. As I said, if you've been in more than 6 months, please, you need to be grateful every single day that this platform has delivered for you and you've made choices. If you've been here 12 months and beyond, you should not say a word. You should be encouraging every single member that this is a great opportunity. I don't know what you're doing, but if you're adding to the noise and the negativity, you're in the wrong place. I'd get rid of you. I'll tell you, here's the deal I'll offer you. Get your 1 times out if you haven't had it yet, and let me have your logins. Let me have your username and your passwords, and hand your membership over to me. I'll wish you a fond farewell. Ta-da, bye-bye, and I'll carry on because I believe. You don't. See you later. Sling your hook.
I had a distressed call from one of my family members yesterday, and I generally steer clear of family because they don't get network marketing. My family, I know your family, everybody else on here may get it, but my family for 25 years has never got network marketing, right? But they've all wanted a piece of the pie here. I had a distressed call from one of my family members yesterday. Oh, Kalpesh, my missus is having a go at me because you got them into some deal. Blah. I went, mate. I was like, oh, God, here we go. I said to him, look, do you know what? Give me their details. I'm going to buy all their accounts out. Whatever they put in, I'll buy their accounts out. They can go back to the bank. Whatever I give them, I'll give them their money. They can go back to the bank, put it back in the bank and make 0.5% a year. Because if you want to benefit from a 0.5% a day system, then you've got to be ready to grow with the company and go through the growing pains of a company that is as big as this and going where it's going. So literally, I just said, look, you know what? Get me their info, get me their details. I'll get the money over to them. I'll just hand over the accounts to me. No problem. I've got no issue taking the accounts over.
I'm back in the trenches. I registered 4 people this week, 4 new members this week. And I'm thinking, wow, I've got to get them onto that Telegram. I've got to warn them about Telegram before I put them on there. I said, you're going to see a lot of noise. There's a lot of nonsense on there, but just listen to me. Trust me. You've done the right thing. Let's work together. Why should I have to do that with my brand new members? And we've got a Telegram group where we've got members who've been there for a year or 2, moaning and whining, complaining. I'm figuring out what's going on here, because they must have at least had 1 times, maybe 2, maybe 3 times. Maybe they've got a combination. They've got at least 1.5, 2, and they've got pending, which is about 3 times that I'm just reeling this in. Nonsense. Absolute rubbish. If you are doing that, Akira, think about the new members. I'm off to a flying start this year. I'm in the trenches. I'm out in front, and I'm out there making sure I'm sharing and helping others to change their lives. That's what I do.
100%.
Or why am I here? I'm out every day meeting individuals. They're open. People, this is the beginning of the year. You should be out there focused on sharing the good news of this fantastic platform that's been here for 26 months. Some people outside are hurting really badly, and they need you to say something good to them. But guess what? You're here moaning and whining. Oh, I missed my rewards. They gave it back to us yesterday. I saw it. I didn't even log in on the 6th. Okay, no rewards. I read it on Telegram. I thought, okay, I'm not going to log in. I logged in on the 7th. You got the 7th and the 6th waiting for me. Great. Didn't ask them to do that, but I'm happy. All I'm saying to you is I wasn't worried. I don't go to bed and think, oh my gosh, I've lost a few HU today, and it's gone into the ether, and they're not going to give it to us. Guys, these guys deliver. So I wasn't surprised when I woke up and thought, oh, we got the 7th and the 6th and the 8th now today. Great, I'm happy. But you guys have got to be focused on the right thing. You've got to be focused on the positives here. There's so much positives, and you dwell on the smallest little issues. There's a book called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, because it's all small stuff. Don't sweat the little stuff, because the big picture is huge. You could be focused on building your team, getting yourself, becoming a real leader for your team, but you're probably looking for a pity party. You're starting it off, and everybody's holding hands and crying on each other's shoulders and singing Kumbaya because it's all bad, it's all doom and gloom. Don't do that. I'm telling you that now. Don't do that. I read something about, I don't even want to pull out some of the things I've read because it's nonsense. Now, you and I know what the total membership acquisitions are in total. That's from Master Distributor Dan. It is a big number. Even if you divide it by 1,000 or 5,000, it represents a certain, as average, guys, it represents a certain number of members in our membership. Yet someone has the gall to question the number of members because we've only got 7,500 members on Telegram. I think to myself, so what? Why are you even thinking about that? Who cares? Okay, it represents 1% or whatever it is. Who cares? The rest of them, they're doing whatever they're doing. If they're passive, if they're not, if they've logged in, if they've never ever logged in, that happens. That's business, How many times have you signed up for a course and you've never shown up? We do it all the time. We go to these courses. Oh, we'll sign up, $2.5 grand. You don't even show up for day one. How many of you have been duped into that? But yet you want to moan and complain over here. Unbelievable. There are members, I can tell you this now, that are just... they're part of the membership, but they probably took out a small membership and they've forgotten all about it. That might have been a year and a half ago. Who cares? It's still a statistic. It's still a number, but who cares about how many are on Telegram? There is not enough on Telegram that are positive. Boom.
There you go.
Helps. I had to get off my chest. Sorry, mate.
Let's go right ahead, Keith. I hear you, man. Oh, Lord.
When you've seen what we've seen, Calps, in the last 30, 35 years, and you realize that this is incredible.
Again, that's what this leadership training is all about, is understanding yourself better, right? It's the psychology of you. Like, who are you right now? If you're are you one of those people that Keith just described? And if you are, be honest about it. Don't pretend you're not one of them. If you are, have you added value into the groups, or have you been taking value away? Are you a giver or a taker? Where do you sit on that Richter scale of making a difference and taking the difference? Like, who are you? What role do you play in all of that? Because teamwork is about teamwork, working together. So the dynamic of this beautiful industry and what we're doing here, building a community, is that we have each other's back. And how Keith just described the Telegram route, whose back are you? Whose back have you got? It's like when you're throwing 2 pence worth every time somebody goes.
I've got 4 new members, and I've got to warn them about Telegram. It's just like, hold on, guys, be careful. You're going to read some things on there. Yeah. It's like, why should I?
They should be inspired to come in, right? They should be excited. We should be excited when we bring people into Telegram. We shouldn't be warning them about, hey, listen, plug in there so you get the info from the company, but in between all of that, there's a load of noise and nonsense. You're going to have to dodge a lot of bullets. Over here, when that kind of stuff happens, it's like your own members are shooting each other down. Like, what are you playing at, right? It's like, come on, there's enough enemies already that everyone has to put up with. You don't need to be enemies, inside the deal. That's just silliness, isn't it?
But I did qualify that cast by saying, if you've been here for less than 6 months, and we have got a number of members that have, and they are very happy. They made a positive decision, they're happy with the decision, and they come into an environment where it's just toxic, or there's individuals that are just, they go into a room and then the room gets dark. I mean, it's like terrible. These guys are just, half glass empty. They don't care. It's just like, I want. And the problem with that, is that we're trying to do something beautiful here, build a fantastic community where people are winning. And as I said, the vast majority of our members have been here for more than 6 months. I would probably say 60 to 70% have been here more than 6 months. So if you've been here more than 6 months, what's going on up here? What are you thinking still? What's going on up here? Have you not got it yet? Have you not figured this thing out? Because if you haven't, I feel sorry for you because I wake up every day with a smile on my face and I'm so happy and grateful. Unbelievable. I know you are, Kalps. We speak all the time. But I can tell you this now, there are not just the greats of the industry, you know, the ones that go into any deal and go to the top. We're talking about average individuals or individuals that never had success in business ever, in any kind of business, winning big here. Not just little, they're winning big here. I mean, we're talking hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands around the world that are winning big. And that's the case of any business. Pareto's law kicks in 20%, 80%. So that 20% in our community, Kalps, winning so big. The other 80%, or even if you call them 30 or 40%, the whiners and the moaners, you should be asking the winners, how do you do it? I want to win like you. Don't pray that this thing doesn't last. Where you write, gives us an indication that you want this thing to be perfect. Otherwise, oh, there you are, exit strategy or this or that nonsense. Well, they haven't lived really, have they, Kalps? In my world, they haven't lived.
100%. So yeah, let's be more mindful when we're communicating. We've covered this plenty of times. I always say that know where you're communicating. If you've got a gripe, if you've got an issue, if you've got something that you need to get off your chest, then leadership is where you go to. Speak to your upline, your sponsor, or your upline 5 stars and 4 stars and 3 stars. Get it off your chest over there. They'll either respond or won't respond, but at least you got it off your chest. But what you don't want to be doing is passing that stuff into your teams, and certainly not other people's teams. And that's what Telegram is. Just respect the space. When you go to Telegram, or even when you go into a WhatsApp group, if it's not your WhatsApp group with you and your organization, then you have absolutely zero business throwing your 2 cents in worth over there. And if it is your own group for your team, then you'd be ludicrously insane to want to throw 2 pence in worth in those groups, right? So there's just nowhere that you should be doing that in an environment outside of one-to-one conversations, either with support or with your uplines and your leaders, and that's it. Boom, nip it in the bud and then shift the attitude. Make the adjustments internally that you need to make, because guess what? It's the same challenges that everyone is having to face right now. Or, it's less now because it's almost done. But, over the last month or so, as all this was, the shift was happening, everyone faced the same stuff. But how gracefully did you do it? How smoothly did you do it? How powerful were you in that transition? That's what this is all about. And that determines how you go forward. How you go forward in this business, your attitude, your mindset, your internal conversations will determine where you end up here, right? So just learn from people that are already successful, right? Learn from
12
people.
months ago, that transition was a little painful. It was the first time we had that transition. Yeah. And last year we moved, I think it was 100,000 registered accounts onto the new server. Yeah. And it was a painful transition. If you remember, I think Tracy was around, some of you, Jan was around, and we got through it, didn't we? And what did the company do to compensate the disruption? They upped the daily rewards to 0.7 to 0.8 for 10 days. I mean, that's a 40% uplift for every single member. They did that 12 months ago. And some of you who've been here more than 12 months have got a complete short memory. It's gone. Because in that time as well, let's break it down. Let's keep it real. MOF was 0.20 in January 2021. Throughout the entire year, it went on a run from 0.20, guys, for you who don't understand, it's like 20 cents on the dollar in value, to $2.50 in value in less than 12 months. Every single member was withdrawing and winning extra. I didn't see anyone complaining about that. Did you give it? Did you say, oh, sorry, company, you gave me too much. Let me give you the surplus, the extra that I got from the exchange because I made 10% last night. Did any of you do that? Not one. Did you say thank you? Not even a thank you. Great, we're winning. Fantastic. You all of a sudden, speculate as your scalpers. You're doing very well. Now that we got a little bit, some issues, a couple of things to deal with, you're moaning and complaining. You forgot what 2021 was like for you on the exchange. Kalps, you and I know you had MOF. You held on to it. You didn't even do anything with it. And you tripled, quadrupled what you had that you were holding. You had a smile from ear to ear, baby. It was fantastic. But some of you have got a short memory. You forget. 0.20, I could show you where MOF was January 2021 and where it ended up just before they did the migration to TRC20. It was $2.40 odd cents per token. Everyone that withdrew won big. And some of you held on and got 30, 40, 50% on the token that you withdrew. And you're talking about the company? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm in the wrong place.
So yeah, if you're one of the people that has been the naughty person in the group, bringing the energy down, throwing pennies into the pot, doing all of that stuff, just own up to it and stop it. Just commit not to do it again. That's it. It's really that easy. Don't do it. Never, ever, ever puke in the group. Done. Declare it. Commit to it. Follow through with it. Just don't do it. And guess what? All of a sudden, your team will respect you more. All of a sudden, they'll understand what leadership is because you're demonstrating it rather than talking about it. You don't need to explain leadership. It shows up. All right. So, it's really simple stuff. If you're adding value, go ahead and add it. If you're about to take value away, zip it. Write that down. If you're adding value,
if you're adding
value, add it. Mm-hmm. If you're about to take value away, zip it. There you go.
I mean, Kalp, there's so many positives here. Where can you rock up for 300 USDT and get all the education, get all the the family and the community in the right environment to learn with the opportunities for 300 USDT and the opportunity where you can turn that 300 USDT if you was to share? Oh, incredible what you could do with that. Where else are you going to find that, guys? Just that alone. We have members who came in at the minimum 300, 500, and they took advantage and they went to work and they shared and they educated themselves. And now they're crypto experts. Fantastic. Brilliant. For the minimum. And we've got members here who don't even understand what they've got their hands on. Incredible. I just sometimes think, really? Why are you here?
Oh, Lord, they're here to learn, Keith. They're here to learn. Let's teach them.
We maxed out this morning technical training on a Saturday for the second time ever. Brilliant. Thank you, those who showed up this morning. Sorry about the overflow. We're trying to figure it out. I've sent the wrong link out. But we maxed out and we'll max out tomorrow. Listen, guys, we can only do so much as leaders, as support for the community. We've been Air Kalps. We've done well over 1,500 events as leaderships trainings over the last 2 years.
Yeah,
easily. We've always shown up on time. We've been here every single week. We were here on Christmas Day, on New Year's Day. We were here on Boxing Day. We're here all the time for you. All we ask you to do is do a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. And then when you get used to doing a little bit, then do a little bit more. And then when you get used to that, do a little bit more and a little bit more. And guess what? It becomes second nature. It becomes just a habit that you do. But right now, you're battling with the demons, your habits. You're battling with your habits, and you're not putting in the right effort to get the results out. It's not going to work. Not going to work. Helps? You can take the floor now. I'm done. Grab some water. Call it a day.
I love it. Oh, gosh. You can see Keith's not a happy bunny. Why? Because he went into the Telegram group and you lot disappointed.
And I
he was
couldn't
going in there hoping that there were a few more commanders and generals in there, but it looked like
I couldn't put my new guys in. I was thinking, I'll put them on my WhatsApp group. Forget that for now, because it's just crazy nonsense over there.
Oh Lord, there you go. But no, it's true. I had to sit down with a very, very big networker friend a couple of days ago, yesterday, and had a good long chat. And he's like, Kalps, I'm loving all of it. And one of the questions said, look, I've got one major question left. How do you handle the skeptics about what you're doing? And I said, you know what? We've got our fair share, but here's the beautiful thing. We've also got all of the answers and responses. So anything anyone brings that's negative, we are not relying on fluff to turn them around. We've got concrete, solid, evidence-based facts that we can present. So when someone says, look what I found, we simply go back with, yep, and you haven't found this yet, have you? And when you present that, bang, it washes away any nonsense that's out there instantly anyway. So people outside have every right to be skeptical and negative and throw stones and call it names and do whatever they want to do. That's their prerogative. They're not in it. But I think as Keith has identified, that's not our job, right? We don't need to be in it and doing that nonsense, all right? You know better. These guys are who they are. They've proven themselves over and over. They don't need to prove themselves to you. You've already bought into them. Let's remind yourself of that. You've already bought into them. So they shouldn't have to be proving themselves to you anymore. That was done before you came in. Now our job is to support them. Now our job is to be on their side. Our job is to have their back and have each other's back. I don't know how often I need to say that, and I'll keep saying it until it starts showing up. But really, when you understand that simple concept of having each other's back, having the community's back, having the community, the company's back, having the owner's back, because they've got yours, that's the game changer. That's when the game changes. But until you don't apply that simple mindset and philosophy, then, you know, all you're doing is adding fuel to the fire, aren't you? You are the enemy within. Like, why do you want to be that person?
I wouldn't want to go into battle with half of these guys.
I know, right?
They'll be crazy. They'll be stabbing me in the back. I'll be like, let's go, guys. They'll be behind me. Just, oh, sorry, we missed. Sorry, we got you instead. I've got no time for that.
We missed, we got you instead.
You know, it's like, oh dear, I've got to watch behind me back. I can't do that. Am I in battle with a team of leaders, you know, warriors? Are we going to go out there? It's tough out there anyway. We know it's the Matrix. We know that we've got, you know, enemies out there. We've got our detractors. We've got the people who are skeptics and say, yes, you're this. And we know that. But we've got to stick together as an army to fight these guys out there, because they don't like anything good. That's what they do. They want to bring everything down. And we've got something pure. And as I said, you know, it's not perfect, because, of course, that we're evolving as a platform, as a community, as an opportunity. But Kalps, where it was in 2019 and where it is now, it's like, you know, it's like galaxies now away. It's incredible what they've turned this into, a global phenomenon. And as far as I'm concerned, I am so grateful for what we receive every single day, because what we say in our presentation, every single member wins daily here. You go find another opportunity that offers you that and gives you that. Winners everywhere. 100% of our members win. That's cool.
Yeah. And so actually, do you know what? We all often talk about what makes this as solid and credible and beautiful as it is. Let's just explore that a little bit, because there might be some people on here that haven't done the due diligence, and that's okay. You know, maybe that's why you end up throwing 2 pence in the pot, because you haven't done your due diligence. So let's do a little bit of a reminder on what we've got here. We've got...
But they've been here more than 6 months. I told you. Let's exclude the ones less than 6 months. If you've been here more than 6 months, whether you've done due diligence or not, you've seen the evidence. Don't run that one by me. This has come up now. You've been here more than 6 months. You've made a conscious decision either to withdraw or to rebuy. They've given you what they promised you, a reward every day for 6 months. If you just decided that, I want to now try and maximize, and you haven't said, well, let me take it out because I'm risk adverse. I'm number 2 or number 1 on the risk scale of 1 to 10. You're down here, but you want to play in the big field up here with the risk takers, but you're not really one. Do yourself a favor. Withdraw until your skin in the game's back in your pocket. After that, come and talk to me, because I'll give you a deal that you would not take, which is I'll take your membership off you. I'll give it to somebody else. Let them take it from there onwards. You got your 1 times. Let them get the 2 times. That's promised. I guarantee you not one member will take that. Not one. I've offered it to a few already.
I know they don't.
I've offered it to a few, Calps.
They panic.
I'll tell you what you do.
They panic.
Yeah, I'll tell you what you do. We'll get you past the 6 months, and then you hand over your membership. I've got somebody else will take over. No, that is that no. And they're confused. It's like, did you understand what I just said? Get your one times out, so you're okay. You're made whole, and let's give it to somebody else who deserves, who needs it, who wants it, who will be grateful for the opportunity. Not one person has agreed to that deal.
No,
I'll still keep it on the table. I'll keep it on the table.
There you go. So yeah, do that due diligence. Go through it, but just understand Ryan Zhu does not need to screw you over. Just get that. Like if you do the due diligence, you'll get that, right? This is not some MLM guy that set up a deal to make money from MLM. All right? Let me repeat that. Ryan Zhu is not some MLM guy that made some money in MLM.
Yeah.
And then set his own MLM company up to make money out of MLM.
Incredible, Calps. I mean, I know exactly what that means fully because we've seen stuff in the past. Sharon, some of you guys on here, we know when we smell a rat, and this has been good. And look at the infrastructure, exchanges, wallets. I mean, who does all that? Who puts all that on the table for us to enjoy? Okay, all parts don't work perfectly, but it's there. Who does that? An elaborate scam. It's so elaborate. It's got me. It will blindside me if it turns out to be something that you guys, you skeptics, are saying, because you got me, and I'm always, my eyes are wide open, my ears are close to the ground. They've got me. If they can get me, they've got all of you. So look at what we got on the table, what they're putting together. It's amazing. It's incredible.
Absolutely.
And you still doubt.
Remind yourself who you're in bed with here. All right. This guy owns exchanges. He owns cryptocurrencies. He's a shareholder in tons and tons of great projects. He works with governments, works with Fortune 500 companies.
You and I know he works with governments.
Kings of countries.
Yeah, you and I know, because you and I know he works with governments because we've been in the UAE for the past 12 months, and I know his standing in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. I know how they feel about what we're doing and our platform. And as I said, we've just opened up a couple of mining farms there. We relocated from China. These guys are well connected with the right people. Understand that. It's powerful.
They sit with royals. They do deals in the billions. They do not need to screw anyone to get ahead. They are already ahead. Just get that. They're already ahead. All right? So take a nice deep breath. The next time you want to throw 2 pence into the pot, take a deep breath and keep it in your pocket. Ryan doesn't need it. The community doesn't need it. And me and Keith definitely don't want your 2 pence worth. Keep it in your pocket. All right? That's it. And if you see people throwing 2 pence into the pot, just remind them, hey, mate, here's the due diligence, just in case you forgot. Ryan doesn't need your 2 pence worth. This community doesn't need your 2 pence worth. Corporate doesn't need your 2 pence worth. The IT team doesn't need your 2 pence worth. And the leaders don't need your 2 pence worth. Keep it in your pocket. There you go. Nice, easy message to send out, right? So let the company do what they do magically, which is build massive businesses successfully. They scale, they grow, they multiply. They do everything they do at the highest level. Let them do what they do. It's what they're supposed to do. Let them work out this. Listen, if you knew the answers, you wouldn't be a member. You'd be the owner. You're not the owner. You're a member. So let them be the owners and let us be the members. Is that cool? And a member's job is really easy. Be a part of the community, help grow the community, support the community, educate the community, train the community, find your space. If you want to train, if you want to teach, if you want to educate, do all of that. If you just want to be a part of the community, great, be a part of the community, but do not be a burden to the community. It's nobody appreciates the people that want to be a burden. All right, don't be the burden. You're in. Understand what you're in. Once you understand what you're in, the noise disappears. Yeah, and then you can actually do what you're here to what you're rewarded handsomely to do anyway. If you want to accelerate your rewards, which is to share. That's all. So all you got to do is share. All right. The company says if you share well, if you share successfully, then we'll make sure that you get the benefits through our hyperdrive program. Wonderful. Yeah. If you don't want to share, no problem. You'll still win anyway.
And remember, the hyperdrive program, Kalpesh, is only accelerated. I mean, I'm sure you guys get that now. It's an acceleration of the rewards that you're going to get anyway. It's this acceleration of your pending rewards, but you're being rewarded and it's accelerated because you're helping others to share in the benefits of this beautiful community and platform. That's why. And it's, again, unique. It's we don't see that out in the world of networking. It's always a commission or a bonus or some sort of incentive. You're incentivized to go and help us to grow the community, and we'll accelerate what we're going to give you anyway. I mean, it's genius, but some of you don't even get it on that level. You don't understand it.
That is a shame. So, number one, get your attitude on check daily. Just check where you're at. Take your temperature, check where you're at. Everyone goes through different phases. It's fine. Don't beat yourself up for having negative thoughts about stuff. That's fine. Beat yourself up. You have my full permission. Beat the living daylights out of yourself if you let that negative voice get the better of you. All right? That's when you want to beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up for having negative thoughts. Beat yourself up for watering them and nurturing them and growing them and sharing them. That's when you want to go, stop it. Stop being a pain. Stop being a nonsense and stop creating noise. Stop it. Step up. Become a leader. Done. Not rocket science, is it? Just stop it. Hit the brakes. When you're being a nonsense, hit the brakes. You have permission to be a nonsense, but not in the groups. Learn to press pause before you go public. How about that? Press pause before you go public.
And it'll spill out into other areas of your life. If you're positive and you're not a negative, whiny moaner, that positivity will spill out into other areas of your life, and I guarantee things will start working for you in other areas of your life. You look at challenges differently, and I do. There's no challenge. It doesn't matter. We can fix things. Anything can be done. We can get there. We can get through whatever. But if you are a negative person, you've got, and any little thing you're waiting, say, there, I told you, I showed her. It's like, why? Be positive, guys. You need that in your life now. With all the negativity out there, you need to be positive because it's a tough life right now. It's the toughest times ever.
Yeah, it is. We forget that in here.
It's incredible.
When you get out there and you look around, when you put your head up outside of the HyperVerse.
Tough times.
There's some interesting times ahead for sure. And the quicker you can get into gratitude mode for being in this, the quicker you'll share it with others and build a fabulous community, because it is getting harder for people in the old world. So I am every day, every moment of every day, grateful. We've got such phenomenal owners committed to us, committed to such a phenomenal vehicle that they want to share it with the world. That, I can't even understand the concept of moaning and whining and whinging and complaining and jumping in the bandwagon. I don't get that concept anyway. But yeah,
let's focus on getting the leaders here to stay positive, even when we're in choppy waters.
I'm going to assume that the leaders here are already, and if they're not, we've already said if you're not, then just make the adjustment. What I want to do is encourage all of you to go into the Telegram groups and the WhatsApp groups and be the light. That's what I want to encourage. So whenever you see any darkness popping up, don't beat those people up, because as Keith said, rightly said, they might be somebody that just signed up yesterday, 2 weeks ago, a month ago, and they've got every right to be panicking. But when you notice that, reassure them.
Yeah.
Hey, don't worry. I've been here a while. I understand this. You maybe don't understand it. Just have a look at who Ryan is. Have a look at who Sam is. Have a look at what they've done. They're going to do right here. They always do. Hang in there. Let's ride this out together. Imagine what a different group that would be. Can you see that? Imagine if suddenly that there were more encouraging messages, supportive messages, community messages,
yep,
than people just chucking stuff around in there. Then less people chuck stuff around as well because they'd notice, oh, hold on, there's a better way. And it's being demonstrated right here before my very eyes. There are people that handle the same situation completely differently. Wow, what can I learn from this? Give them a reason to want to learn from you. Become a really great teacher, not a teacher in the sense of telling people, but in terms of showing up. So who you are is the teacher, not what you're teaching, not what you're saying. Who you are in the scenario becomes the teacher. Like, wow. So you might say, hey, listen, do you know what? I couldn't log into mine either. And it's cool because one thing I know is that everyone that couldn't log in at some stage can log in now. And the ones that can't log in right now will be able to log in later on today or tomorrow because that's just how this thing works. Bang, value add. Do you know what? My withdrawal didn't work earlier either, but I'm cool as a cucumber because I've been around for 8 months. I've been around for a year. And every time this company makes a massive, enormous move like this, they always smooth it out. They always deliver. They always work it all out. So don't worry about it. Relax. Let them get through what they do. In the meantime, go ahead and share this with others. Continue doing what you do. And let's build the community. Done. Nice message like that.
Exactly.
Gosh.
Exactly.
Done and dusted on the spot, right? So let's start doing that. I mean, 1,000 of us here, and I don't know how many on the overflow, we could actually have an impact in the Telegram, couldn't we?
Absolutely.
We could have an impact in the Telegram.
We've got to drown out the noise, haven't we? And,
yeah.
You know.
So, let's be the leaders. Let's demonstrate the power of these Zooms, these Saturday calls.
Yeah.
Let's not just show up on the Saturday. Let's show up. That would be powerful. To actually see the fruits of this labor come to fruition where it's needed. That would be the dream. If you guys want to do something for the community, do that. Be better for the community. How about that? 1,000 of us. Goodness. Can you imagine?
Well, there's 2,000. I think not over 900 on overflow.
Oh, wow.
So we've got 2,000 now today. It's good.
That's
not enough, but a good start.
Good start of the year. I'm in. So if you haven't engaged already, get engaged, right? Not like get engaged in the traditional sense. I mean, get engaged in the business. Get engaged in the business. Get yourself in your 90-day zone. What are your 90 days activities? Like we said last week, if you weren't here last week, then just for the benefit of anyone that wasn't here last week, we are on a 90-day sprint. All right. And a 90-day sprint in which we are going to invite and have at least an average of one guest a day every single day. So 100 people having watched a full presentation in the next 90 days. 100 people that are not in yet having watched a full presentation over the first 90 days of your journey. So if you're starting your 90 days today, so be it. If you started last week, congratulations. Whoever's new and starts in the week, set them up too. Let them know, hey, listen, we've got a 90-day campaign going on right now. Here's how it works. We're going to crank the rank. We're going to get you from 0 to hero. We're going to help you climb fast. 90 days, let's show 100 people from your contact list, your WhatsApp groups, your Facebook groups, your LinkedIn groups, wherever you are connected to human beings anywhere else on the planet. We're going to identify 100 of them and get them onto a live presentation or recorded presentation over the next 90 days. That means we may need to speak to and share with 300, 400, 500 people. Boom. 3 a day, 4 a day, 5 a day. That's all it is. See, when I say 500, somebody goes, 500 people. When I say you just contact 5 people a day, if you reach out to 5 a day, 1 will show up for sure. When you start improving your reach out, when you start improving your interaction, your rapport building, your invitation, same thing, the conveyor belt system kicks in. You're feeding your funnel. Get your 5 conversations a day lined up, reach out and build a communication with them. Hi, how are you? Where are you? What are you up to? I noticed this about you. Go through their wall for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, spot what the theme is, and let them know. I liked what you wrote about such and such. I like that post over there. Tell me a little about what you're up to. What do you know about cryptocurrency? Are you in yet? Just ask some questions, get some curiosity. What do you do for work? Build some rapport. Build that pipeline. Speaking to 5 people a day, showing 100 people in the next 90 days will be a walk in the park. Can you see that? Because you've spoken to 450 people. Now you can get 100 people, 100 of them to come have a look at something, right? So do the little baby steps. Now, do you see, if you didn't do 5 conversations a day for your first week, you're 35 conversations behind. That means next week, you need to be doing 10 conversations a day just to break even, just to catch up. You put your own pressure on yourself unnecessarily because you were lazy for a week. Don't be lazy. Don't make up stories. Don't let life get in the way. Don't let your stories get in the way. Just get on top of it. Deal with your challenges. Deal with all the tough stuff that life throws at you. Do all of that and still speak to 5 people a day anyway. Kalps, I had a shitty day. This happened. The door fell off its hinges. The bin fell over. The rubbish was all over the yard. Car had a flat tire. Baby would stop crying. But guess what? I managed to get 5 contacts done before I went to sleep. I feel like a freaking rock star. Let that be the conversation. Add that last sentence onto the end of every single day. And what you'll see is suddenly bins don't fall over. Doors don't fall off of hinges as often because you shifted your focus. You shifted who you are. Doors are scared to fall off their hinges. Tires are scared to go flat. The universe goes, don't mess with that one. They're too damn serious about this, man. They're getting this done with or without. Let's leave them alone.
Yeah.
Let's not bother them. They're up to stuff. They're adding value in the world. They're getting stuff done. Let's not bother them with the nonsense. The universe will always find people that love nonsense. All right? Don't let you be one of them.
Funny that, Kalpesh. You're absolutely right, because I don't get any of that stuff. I just crack on.
Yeah. Like literally, right?
Yeah.
Like even if it happens, it's a non-event. Okay, I got flat tire. Hey, can you come fix it? Done. Okay, let me go and speak to somebody.
Yeah.
No drama. Just events. Done. So get rid of the drama and then make sure that the end of your day is ending on a high because you did what you said you were going to do. That equals progress. That equals winning. In 90 days, you will be the one that's smiling from ear to ear. You will be the one that will be more confident, more competent, more able to lead and inspire others. You'll be the one that people look up to. You'll be the one that people want to hold hands with and say, take me where you're going. You become that. 90 days. It's a discipline and a half. But you get it done, the rest of your year flows effortlessly. It becomes easy, this stuff. Juggling becomes easy. Spinning plates becomes easy and effortless. Why? Because you put yourself through the first 90 days of struggle to master that discipline. Mindset discipline, attitude discipline, conversation discipline, activity discipline, productivity discipline, effectiveness discipline. You worked it solid, consistently for 90 straight days. The universe has to give you a break. Right? You will become a better person by default when you do this stuff. Then the next 90 days, walk in the park. Nothing will faze you. Nothing knocks you out of sync. Nothing gets in the way. Stuff still happens, but who you are, stuff doesn't happen to you. You happen to stuff. When stuff happens, you happen to it. All right? Nothing happens to you. It happens, and then you happen to it. Shift the frequency. Shift the energy. Be the one that is the North Star in all of it. Be the person that you can count on. How about that? Don't count on me. Don't count on Keith. Don't count on anything else outside. Be the one that can count on you first. Become count honorable. Become count honorable as a leader, as somebody that values and respects your own word, your own promises, your own commitments. Commit to being better. Commit to showing up better. Be the person that you want on your team. Like really, most people are not honest. If I said right now, would you want you on your team? Most of you will say yes. And you're lying to yourself. If I said to you, would you want a better version of yourself on your side, in your team? Of course. Well, become the better version of yourself. Don't hang around. Just be that person. Be a better version of yourself for yourself. And now, guess what? As magic would have it, people show up better for you because you show up better for yourself. It's funny how that works. When you show up better for yourself, people in your team will show up better for you. Your family will show up better for you. Your work colleagues and friends and boss and everybody will show up better for you when you show up better for you. Self-leadership. Lead yourself first. And watch how it all comes together. Synchronicity kicks in. But if you're turbulent, then your life is turbulent. If you're a hot mess, your life is a hot mess, right? But when you're solid, when you're still, when you're stable, life stabilizes around you, stills itself around you. So work this stuff out. I cannot urge enough for the people that are on leadership on a Saturday, week in, week out, to just get that. Step up. The number of people, honestly, it's heartbreaking when you see people with all the potential in the world, all the possibilities ahead of them, magic at their fingertips, purposefully screwing it up. Majestically screwing it up. It's a shame. Real shame. But nobody can do it for you. We always say that. Nobody can bring out the best version of you for you. Only you can do that. Only you can work on your attitude. Only you can work on your mindset. Only you can work on your actions and your habits and how you show up. No one, these conversations only make a difference if you pay attention and apply what you're learning. Otherwise, it's just another television show you'll forget about in 3 months' time. Just another movie that you'll remember a couple of highlights and forget the most important points about.
So true, Kalps, because you talk about habits. And I remember when I started in November 2019, I knew I had some habits that had to be adjusted and changed. And one of them is that I would, sometimes be late for appointments. I think we're all guilty of that. We could blame the bus, the tire, whatever, flat tire, whatever, the traffic. We've done that. But one of the things I said is that I had to change that habit because it's a habit. Because you've got, lateness is a habit. Yeah. And since I started, I've not been late for anything at all. We have not been late for anything. You can set your clock, your watch by the events that take place and know that at 10 a.m. Saturday morning, technical training, 3 a.m., 3 p.m. Saturday afternoon, leadership. But you don't turn up at leadership at 3 o'clock because guess what? The lines are open at 2:30, 2:15, because I know that I need to be there by 2 to 2:30 to let everyone in. Every single event that we've had, a webinar, you don't show up for webinars and, he's half hour late, typical. So there's habits that you have to identify and change them because you're going to get the same results every single time. The results you've been getting are based on the habits that you've developed. Change those habits and disciplines and attitude. And then set yourself some goals and targets and stick to them. I said I wasn't going to put my head down on the pillow unless I spoke to 30 or connected with 30 individuals a day because I knew I could do it because they're in my phone, on WhatsApp, they're in my Facebook, my Instagram, whatever I've got, my LinkedIn. I knew I could do that. but it was also easier not to do. Easy. So I knew I had to do that, change my habit. And there's a lot of different things I had to change in order to get the results you had to do as well, Kalps, for us to get the results that we've got here. And some of you are battling with your habits and you can't change them. You're struggling. The pain of change has to be greater than the pain of changing, of staying, of change. You have to be in serious pain right now in order for you to get the riches and the rewards, because you're not going to change. Simple as that.
Like the story of the dog on the nail, the dog sitting on the nail, right? The neighbor walks past, says, "Excuse me, your dog looks really uncomfortable sitting on a nail." And the guy goes, "I know." The neighbor says, "Why don't you move? Get the dog to move." Like, why isn't the dog moving? Why is it in pain? It's like, sitting on this nail, it's uncomfortable. You can see it's uncomfortable. It's moving around. Why doesn't it just move? And it's because the dog's too comfortable where it is. Some of us are like that, right? We're in an uncomfortable situation, but we're comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yes.
Don't be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yep. Some of you got some problems around you right now, whether it be loans and credit cards and all sorts of, especially this time of the year. You've got things that are going on in your lives, pressures from family, you've had some, sadness, whatever it is, you're under pressure right now, the kids, whatever it is. But you're managing that pain. It's like a toothache. You're managing it.
Get uncomfortable, man.
You've got to get uncomfortable to want to, get rid of the pain, and then you start to change.
Yeah,
it's so important.
You have
so important.
Feel the uncomfortable. Get real. I always say, get real with yourself. Stop talking nonsense to yourself and get real. Get uncomfortable with what's uncomfortable. That's when you do stuff about it. You'll never do anything about anything until you get to a point where you have to do something about something.
Yeah.
So bring it forward.
Yeah.
Why wait till it explodes in your face? Bring the pain forward and deal with it.
We were at that place, and it was painful staying where we were. It was so painful. We had to make a difference, start to change, and that was it. It's more uncomfortable to stay where we were, and we did.
And listen, we are shining examples that anything's possible. Anything is possible, right? And we're not the only shining examples.
No, we're not.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shining examples of absolutely transformed lives in this community.
Yeah.
Thousands,
stories, the best stories.
Thousands of stories of massive differences.
Tens of thousands, Kalps, not just thousands, tens of thousands around the world where this platform has made a huge difference to their lives, made a huge difference to where they are and things that are going on around them.
Same.
It's incredible. And that gives me, every day I wake up with a smile, because I know so many people are doing so well, so many in 26 months. It's heaven. It's the best place to be.
Listen, I've been peddling network marketing for 25 years, helping as many people around the world as I possibly could to make that extra 500 a month, which is why people join network marketing for the most part. Right? An extra 500 a month solves all the problems, right? This deal will help so many so quickly. Get your head out the sand and get out there and start sharing this hardcore. 90 days, guys. Again, if you're really up for it, 10 contacts a day for 90 days. Go ahead. I dare you. Speak to 1,000 people in your first 90 days. 10 a day. Keith just shared 30 a day. Not even saying do that.
But that's when it should became a must. I had to do it.
Yeah.
Had to do it, Kalps. The should became a must. There was no 29, 25, 20. I went at it every single day. Every day went at it because there was no alternative. There's nothing else. There was no plan B. This was plan B and A, both of them together. Yeah. That was it. So for me, this was it. And I was all in. And the belief, faith driven, but then the belief started to creep up and get high. And now I'm at 100%, like maxing, like we've maxed out. I'm maxed every day. I'm maxed out every day. I'm at 100 every day, 100 every day. And I wake up, and this is my purpose, my passion every single day. You had to, if you did a blood transfusion, it'll come out HyperVerse positive. That's it. Who wants some of the blood? Because that's how I feel every single day. Because I'll tell you this now, I've never seen anything like this that's transformed so many lives. Never, ever. I will never see it again. And that's why I wake up every day passionate about life and positive, but now purpose-driven. If you're not like that, when you get there, it's the best place to be. Every conversation you have outside is a great conversation. Life is great. Everything smells of roses. The sun's out, even if it's gray and dark and rainy. The sun's out. It's great because that's how you're living your life. You're making a difference. You're making a difference. Why not? Why not live life like that to make a difference?
Boom.
Got anything else better to do?
We've got 30 minutes left.
We have, yes.
Precious event. So I'm going to go to Avtar. Hi, Avtar. Go ahead and unmute yourself and give us some learnings from today. What are you going to take away from today? What are you going to do in your 90-day run? Tell us.
Wow. First of all, Keith, I've never seen you like this before. Something's obviously triggered you off in a way that we've never seen you like this. 2022,
my friend. I'm excited.
and I'll tell you something. Do I love that. Kalpesh, I've spoken many times, but Keith, you, oh my God, today you were off the Richter scale. And you know what? It needed it to be told. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. So thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
That was needed.
Avtar, thank you. You know what? Sometimes you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I was like, that's it. Let's get down to business. Okay, guys? That's what I thought. Let's just get down to business. Let's do this. Let's do this together. Well done, Avtar.
Let me tell you, I was more or less semi-retired before I joined this 4.5 months ago. Talking about what is HyperVerse, the community, what it does for you. But let me tell you what it's doing for me. It has changed my life around completely. This community is not a community. It's a family with love. I'll tell you something very, very quickly. I know we've got very precious time. I've got an extended family in this business now. My extended family is all of you, and I've got an extended family in Canada. And that, we spoke last week, and I've never done my own personal Zoom call. I've never done one. Bit scared, haven't done one for my team. So I spoke to Tracy, and he said, Avtar, let's do a Zoom call for you, your own team. And you know what? We thought about it. In 24 hours, we set up, and I reached out to my team, and then I reached out to Happy and Priya and to Double D, Super Deb in Canada. In 24 hours, we set up a Zoom call. Next day, we had 23 people on that Zoom.
Get it done. Just do it.
The community, the love from everybody that is there to help each other. And quickly, I'll say one thing. We were going to have that Zoom meeting 8:30 UK time. And at 7:30, I called up Dizzy just to wish him a happy new year. This was last week. I thought, I met him in Dubai. We had a great time. I just want to wish him on a personal note a very happy new year. And that's all. I had nothing else to say to him. And he thanked me for reaching out to him personally. And he goes, Avtar, how are you getting on? How's things with you? I said, this is what's happening and this is what we're doing. I said, it's busy. Believe it or not, I'm doing my first Zoom today. He goes, what time are you doing the Zoom? I said, it's busy in about an hour. He goes, an hour. He goes, Avtar, let me get off the call quickly. Let me go and sharpen my beard. Guess what? I'm jumping on that with you as well. I mean, what more can I ask for? This is a community. Did I ask for that? This is the help we got. This is the help. But I would say one thing to everybody. Please, please, please. This leadership training is a must for everybody. What Keith and Kalpesh do every week. Oh my God. You people are rock stars. So thank you from the bottom of my heart and to all my extended family for all the help you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you all. Thank you.
Wow. Well done, buddy. Absolutely awesome. And again, each and every one of you. And imagine if 1,000 of us launched our business this week. Come on now. What if 1,000 of us reached out to our upline leaders and said, listen, I want to schedule a Zoom. Can you come on and support at the back end? Play the recording, knock out your guests with the information, and get them onboarded straight after. Boom. Can you see? 90 days will fly by so quick. It won't be enough. You're like, oh my God, I want more. Alberto.
Yeah, Alberto.
Hi guys, Keith, I'm sorry, but man, you just hit it on the nail. Honestly, it was just like, my goodness gracious me. Sometimes I mean, my wife and I, luckily I have my wife with me this weekend. So, you know, that she was away last weekend and she's here now. And
out of hospital, but still in a lot of pain. So when you were talking about pain, that was difficult to be there with that conversation.
So good to see you, though. Welcome back. Speedy recovery.
Well done. Yeah.
Thank you for that, guys. And I don't know, we've been in here for, it's going to be 6 months on the 12th of this month.
Wow.
And rewards coming in. They have hiccups. I'm a gas engineer. When I've started my company 20 years ago, I did nothing. I mean, I didn't know anything about how to repair a boiler. Sometimes it took me 1 day to repair a boiler. Now I'm repairing boilers over the phone. 20 years. 20 years later.
Wow.
So this has been 1 month and they hiccup once on their rewards and everybody's throwing the towel in. Come on. It's just like, you're not getting penalized. You're actually getting paid. You're getting rewarded. What's so difficult to understand about that? I have the privilege of actually charging my customers for messing up their boilers a bit more until I've learned properly. So, you know, there are two different things in here, but honestly, 5 months, sorry, 6 months is going to be by the middle of this month. I'm already making 3,100 per month doing nothing. I have to work my nuts off repairing boilers to make that. Now I don't. So what does 1 day is not going to actually make me any poorer than where I am. You know, 1 day they have a hiccup, they didn't give my rewards back. Well, the next day I got twice the rewards, as you say, kid. So, you know, and we only been in here for 6 months. We're already looking.
That's right. I mean, I wasn't even aiming at you. You've been here 6 months and look how positive you are about everything. There are members who've been here 9, 10, 12, 11, 15, 18 months. I've got no idea why they're here still. Why are you still here?
We are already looking into purchasing our first property. And that's thanks to this platform. That's thanks for Coco to introduce us to HyperVerse. So what else can I say? I mean, I don't know. Guys, I may come across like I know it all. I don't know F.O., excuse my French. But anytime I see a message in there, for example, somebody cannot withdraw, I throw myself in there and I say, okay, let's see what we can do. Until that person managed to withdraw their funds. They can withdraw it, good. They cannot, okay. Then get in touch with the next stage, your uplines, whatever. But rather than giving negativity, try to, well, not try, because I scrubbed that word of my diary a few years ago. Put yourself out there to help the others. That's it. That's the main thing.
Beautiful.
So I'm not going to say anything else. I'm glad to have my missus back at home. And guys, thank you very much for these trainings, which are just amazing.
Thank you, brother. Absolutely amazing. Look at that. That's the other side of the coin.
Yes.
Use the pun. Just do it. Come on now.
Hello, Johan. Just do it.
Okay.
Hey, how are you? Great training this morning. Fantastic. And you're back here again for leadership. There you go.
Yeah. And this is the first time I speak on the leadership because there are 1,000 people out on this call. You made hundreds and thousands of those calls. And I'm just an ordinary guy, you know. And most of the people on this call, in fact, has higher rank than I do. I usually not raise my hand to speak because there are so many people who wants to speak on this one. But But I really want to give you credit for doing this, because very few people know the effort it takes to do this every day and be there every day. You're sick, you are feeling good, and you are out there. And no excuses, always a smile. I've known you, Keith, for 20 years. I mean, if I would say something about Keith, I mean, it's a smile. And I can recognize also about this, about lateness. You know, these guys do this, but it's very easy to not do it. And when you talk about lateness, I can relate to that, because I was late when I was younger. And maybe I was late 2 times out of 10. Do you know what people said? Johan is always late. Doesn't matter about 8 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Doesn't matter. So you have to do it 100%. You have to really, really step up about those things. And for me, it's the lateness about this. It's one thing that I had to work on. Because those 2 times, what did it matter? No, but people said you're always late. And 10 years after, they said the same. You know. Have you heard about Richard Turner? Anyone? Raise up. Richard Turner. Richard Turner. Richard Turner became blind at 11. He's a card mechanic. I don't know if you know what a card mechanic is. He can handle playing cards like anyone else. He's one of the best 5 in the world. He has offered millions of dollars just to be in a casino to you know, handle who is going to win and stuff like that. He never sell himself out. 11 years he went blind. He worked for between 14 and 20 hours a day until he was 25 to handle those cards. And by the way, he became also a black belt in karate. Blind. To get his black belt, he had to go 11 rounds, 3 minutes rounds with 11 different black belts. He was blind. No excuses. And what he says is, I hate 2 things. Procrastination and laziness. And I rather have my blindness than those 2 things every day in my life. So guys, I will not show up very often to say something, but you are so inspirational for me, and I wanted to share this because this is what you do. This is what you do. So I thank you very much for this and the opportunity to say a few words. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Johan. Wow. Bless you. Wow.
Beautiful story.
Procrastination and laziness, man. Wow. Heavy.
That is hardcore, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whew. James.
Yo, guys. How's it going?
Hey, James. How you doing?
Hey, Kalpesh. Hey, Keith. Great leadership, by the way, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Loving it. You're a great inspiration to many of us. I've got to get a few things off my chest because, damn, I'm pissed off as well, like you, Keith. Guess what? Guess what, right? I've been in with HyperVerse since Halloween. Halloween, man. Right? It's 2 months. 2 months. Yeah, 2. Right? I've been in this group, this Telegram group, right? And I'm thinking, I've signed 4 people up in 2 months, which I could do better. I know that. Right?
Great.
But
Start.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, I don't even want to invite them to the Telegram group because it's so embarrassing. Like, I put a few things in there this week because it's really like, you know, it boils my wee, you know? And it's like, this opportunity, like you say, it only comes round once in a blue moon, right? I've been in things before where you've had to pay a monthly fee to be in there to make, you know how it is.
Yeah.
And this, my friend, right? You're putting in USDT for a membership that gives you education, right? Education in which you don't even pay for the course in the end anyway, because they're giving you all back, right? And it's like, oh
Incredible.
my God. Like, I've been in there 2 months, right? And I was still positive. Even when they gave us the gifts for Christmas, all right, okay. I'm struggling to merge my accounts at the minute, right? I go up to my upline, JB. JB's my upline, by the way. Hello, JB. I know you're on next. And I'm still not worried. I'm still not worried about it. I'm not worried about anything, like, in regards to HyperVerse, because at the end of the day, I took the risk by joining. Like many of these people on here, on this call today, right?
Fantastic.
And at the end of the day, if you're only involved with it, and if it all goes to, you know, at least we've you know, had a go at it. We've had a go.
James, what a healthy attitude. What a healthy attitude.
We have put ourselves out there, Keith. And, you know, I want to change my life. I'm a postman for Royal Mail, right? We have worked hard.
Yeah, that's hard work.
Hard work. Physicality of that job is unbelievable. Correct. We worked hard through the pandemic.
Yes.
I've got to a point now in my life, right? I've had enough. You know, yeah. JB gave me the opportunity in February, right, of last year. He showed me this opportunity. Did I look at it? No, because I didn't believe in it. I didn't even look at it. I didn't even look at what he sent me, right? I got him involved with something before this in order for him to be where he probably is today. And it's like, I didn't even give him the opportunity. And then I've been seeing on, like, obviously his Facebook and stuff, what he's been doing, and it's inspired me on what he's doing. I'm like, how is he allowed to, like, travel across the UK and Scotland in his van? He's in his van now. And it's like, I need to speak to him now, because this is getting silly now. This is becoming a joke. I'm working hard here and he's laughing it up. So I got in touch with him again in October, right? I got in touch with him on, I don't know when it was, the October the 25th, right? And I voice noted him and said, look, we need to have a chat, because I want to know what you're involved in. So anyway, he said, well, we can have a chat. I'm currently near Rutland Water at the minute, which is in Leicestershire, which is near where I live. So I thought, I'm just going to go over and speak to him. So I went over in his van. He talked me through everything on HyperVerse and everything. And I thought, you know what, mate, I'm in. As soon as I've got the dollar, I'm in. And within 3 or 4 days, I think I signed up. Was that right, John?
Yeah.
Within 3 or 4 days, I was in, because I was willing to take the risk. And I'm in a position now where I'm nearly getting a rebuy every 4 days at the minute. I've got one more thing I want to say as well before I hand it over to JB. And I want to thank you, JB, for getting me involved, my friend, because you're an inspiration yourself. You are a leader in this HyperVerse as well, and you'll go on to do great things. We'll work together as a team to get where everyone needs to get to be, where they need to be. But there's another lad at the minute that I signed up, and his name's Jason Wright. And it gets me a little bit, because he tried committing suicide last year on 2 occasions because he couldn't afford to live his life anymore. He was working for the NHS. They've stopped him from working for the NHS because of his condition at the minute. He's obviously struggling with Crohn's disease. I think that they've not really diagnosed it yet. But I reached out to him like last year, and then obviously cut the story short a little bit. I got to a position where now I thought, Jason, I'm involved with this thing called HyperVerse. I want to give you the presentation that Kalpesh does, and I want you to watch it, see what you think. So he watched it, he went, mate, that's amazing. I wish I could afford it. I went, don't worry about it. I'm gonna sign it up for you. I'm gonna get you a membership. I'm gonna get you on board. And you know what, guys? This opportunity, he was like, mate, I'm so blessed that you've done that for me. I'm so grateful for what you've done and all this. And I said, mate, you're on the journey with me now. That's it. Like, I'm grabbing you. I'm putting my arm around you now, mate. That's it. Just don't be in that position or in the darkness again, because I've got you back, man.
Right.
So, guys, I just want to say
well done,
thank you very much. I just want to say thank you very much, man. And I'm going to get Jason on this call one day, and
please
I want him
do.
to tell him his story.
Please do. He's in our family now.
Thank you. Nice one, James.
Thanks, James.
Man. Paying it forward. JB,
how you doing?
Everyone, just tighten up your 60 seconds.
I'll be super quick. Four things. Keith, Kalpesh, thank you. What an amazing session. I'm like yourself, Keith. I have a go at the whingers, and the people in my group don't because they don't. But I just help them grow. Number two, I've got two WhatsApp groups, one with the group and then one with the 20%, because you put your 80% into 20% of the people. James is on that group. Number three, if anybody moans and whinges about anything about what they've seen on the internet, the minuses, I'll say, don't look at that. Look into the people that have wrote it and see their background. Amazing thing to do. Because then they go, oh, right, you're thinking that, there you go. And then number four, I'm going to speak to 30 people this week. I've signed up. Sorry, tomorrow, I'm doing a 15-kilometre assault course in the morning. I'm in Scotland. And after that, I'm going to speak to 30 people every day for the rest of the month. Promise you that. I've signed up 4 people this month already. One of those is one of the heads of Lango Rourke, and he has denied me. But I got on the phone with him. He's like, "I'm with you." So because it's like he wants to retire, and it's like, "Well, there you go." And it's just like, bang, I'm rocking.
There you go. He's at 100%, Calps. JB's at 100%. Boom, he's up
over it. Yeah, and it's like that's me.
JB, thank you. You're a freaking legend, is what you are. 100%. Latanya,
how are you doing?
I am doing fantastic, guys. You guys are awesome. I love your passion. Keith, you were on fire today. I understand. I've had some of the same thoughts when I got into WhatsApp today, and there was a little bit of stuff going on there. But you know what? God is good, and I am grateful that he put this opportunity in front of me. Yeah. And so I'm going to focus on the positive, like you said, Kalpesh. But there are 3 things that you said, Kalpesh, that I want to highlight that really resonated with me. Keep the negative thoughts captive is my version of something that you said in there. And that's from the Bible. 2 Corinthians 10:5 tells us to keep our thoughts captive. We have to manage those thoughts on purpose. We have to be intentional. And that's what you guys are pointing out today. That really resonated with me. And you said, be the light. We are the light of the world. That's also Bible. Jesus himself said, we are the light of the world. We're the salt of the earth. So it's for us to get on there and dissuade that negative. So I believe that, and I'll do more of that. That is my promise to you. And you said no drama, just events. I like that. That's going to be my mantra. I have to confess that I didn't think I was being lazy, but you called me out today, Kalpesh, and I think I was lazy last week. I called about 1 or 2 people a day, but 30 Keith sounds really scary to me, but I can certainly up it to about 5. So that's my goal.
Tanya, you know what? I knew I could because I had them. They're around. I mean, you just make your list and it just keeps on adding. So why would you not spend the whole day contacting people? I had nothing else to do. This is all I had to do. This is it. So it's easy to do.
I agree, and I'm with you. And pray for me that I can stay there and break that habit of procrastination. And that is my goal. This time next week, I can tell you, yes, I did.
I can't wait to hear your testimony next week. So
same here,
Latanya. Some accountability as well, declaring it to 1,000 partners around the world.
I'm out there in front of over 1,000 people, almost 2,000 people.
2,000 people. Well done. Let's have your story next week align.
Wouldn't you say, Kalpesh, the work we did in the first 6 to 9 months is what you see now, is manifested? Yep. I've added to it, but the work for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months is here now. Everything, the harvest is real. It's just, overflow.
And I'm grateful for what you did, because without what you did, I would not be here. That's for sure. And the rest of us would not be here.
And
so
we're all
fruit.
Thank you. This is the harvest. This is it for all of us. Yeah. We are the harvest.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Absolutely amazing. Ollie, how we doing, buddy? Go ahead.
Hey, Ollie.
Hello, you beautiful human beings. Oh, I've got Shazza in the place. Kalpesh, Keith. Oh my God, guys. I'm in the car. I've been sitting here waiting. I'm like, oh, drinking the cool. I am positive, Keith. That is spectacular. And somehow in my head, I've heard the words, you know, you're 30 per day. I sat here. I was like, did you say 30? 90 per day. Then I looked at Sharon. I was like, it's like 90 per day. I was like, imagine what we could create if we did do 90 per day. You just sat there, you loved on people, and you just went, you know, you just went to town. So super, super loved up. Dubai was spectacular with you beautiful, beautiful human beings. It was amazing. I've spouted out a nice little hyper beard for you all on this call. And I just feel super, super loved up. And I want to say on my side, what I think is most important, this is about the journey, not the destination. I think that's what's most sexy. So if we don't get our rewards in, how sexy and exciting is it if we look back and we see these days where it was a little bit rough, you know, Keith and Kalpesh, it's like people are moaning, the negatrons are in the group, they're doing their thing, and we find a way through. This is the beautiful blessing. It's the journey, everybody, not the destination. I'm something like 20% away from VIP 5 now.
Whoa.
Come on.
There you go. The journey. There you are, the journey.
And beats that make us leaders, that make us characters, and that bring us together as family as well. We are one big, freaking beautiful family.
Awesome.
Love you.
Thank you, Ollie. Awesome. Love you, man.
You,
Fantastic.
Absolutely amazing. I love it. 90
Always.
a day. Up in the game. Oh, it is.
I don't think I could have done that 90.
I know. Damn.
Sorry to steal somebody's time. I know I've already spoken. Now I know what Kalpesh was thinking I was going to say. Now I remember. So what it was, guys, do you remember when we first logged in January when HVT came in? Do you remember? And you were like, because these guys surprise us and force us to be educated. They're like, they force you to do shit that you don't want to do. So I saw the HVT and I was like, oh my God, there it is. So I'm telling you guys, 35 grand straight in. Boom. And I just went, well, it actually was 20 grand. And then I thought, sugar, I should have done more. And then I added another 13 or something. And it's, guys, it's made around 8K. So what I'm telling you is, don't be scared of the HPT because it is going to be a monster. So that's what Kalpesh and Keith, I think these words were needed to be said. I think they were needed. I've had a couple of people say things in my group, you know what, it's New Year, let them, they're a bit rusty, but I'm telling you now, also, don't be persuaded by the grass is greener on the other side. Be careful, because people will say, oh, that's not working now. Join this company. This is better. Trust me, there is nothing. Them opportunities, what you've been offering today, I will stand here from an experienced person in the online industry, and I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. Trust me, in 6 months, they will not be around. So don't be persuaded to join the next best thing because it will not work long term. Stay the course, make it happen. And honestly, guys, we are in a great place. The HyperVerse, watch that film. You'll see where we're going. It's exciting. Catch you later, guys. Thank you so much. Wonderful leadership, as usual. Guys, I've got a Zoomathon coming up, so I'm hitting you two with some bloody dates, okay? I will be messaging you, so please get back to me. Thank you.
Yeah, love it. Thank you. Hassan, how you doing, bro?
Hey, bro, what's happening?
Hey, Hassan.
Awesome, guys. You know what? You know, you just hit the nail on the head. You know, truth is needed and it needs to be said. You know, I've just recovered from COVID, just out of it. And
bless you.
I was thinking about what you guys were saying, and I was thinking, you know, to me, it's all noise. This is all noise. You know, because it just delivers. But what I've been thinking about, Cal's mentioned it, and he's mentioned it a few times, and I know you have as well, Keith, about how we show up. Yeah, my inbox has been full. And I'm still just coming with, okay, patience, tolerance. And this is a great teacher for me. you know, and how I show up in the group, how I show up with my people, you know, and it's helping me to evolve and how I kind of present myself in the group and how I present myself with the people, you know, that I speak to on the phone. So that's the first thing. Secondly, oh man, I mean, even whilst I've been resting, I've been thinking to myself, you know, I've got some great plans for 2022. Kalps already knows about a few, and I'm yeah, this is just, you know, I've been digging all last year, and this year it's gonna be. I mean, I get excited. You know, I had butterflies while I'm going. I'm thinking how excited I get at what's to come for 2022. I can't even explain it in words. But yeah, I've been speaking. You know, I've always got a few things burning in the background, and so yeah, I'm thinking of a few launches. I've already got one tomorrow lined up for one of the team, and I'm exhausted, you know, physically from COVID, but I have to show up. I have to show up for my team. You know, they're counting on me, and I have to show up for them. You know, and so I have to thank Kalps for that. You know, Kalps has taught me a lot, and Dubai was awesome. You know, really loved it, and yeah, I'll let a Grandpa Crypto go. And
I'm just listening to you and your growth, how cool he is now. He's just so calm and cool and measured. I mean, at the beginning he was nervous, and now you just got this certainty about you. I just know what I'm doing and where I'm going. It's just great to see that. I've seen you from day one. Brilliant to see, brother. Kalps, before we go on to Andy, thanks, Hassan. I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. I'm off to a big event. Mr. Clayton Ford has got a big event for the team, maybe 300. And in 15 months, maybe 16 months, what he's done, he's produced 6 VIP 5 stars. It's incredible. So it's a black tie event. I want to say thank you all for listening to me, for bearing me, for a leadership that was needed. I think that we had to say what we had to say today, because I get up every day and I'm grateful, guys, for what this has done, not just for me and my family and my friends. And these, I'm going to see a lot of Kalps. You know, most of the individuals I'm seeing tonight, you know, how many the room's going to be filled with friends and friends of friends, 200-300, and everyone's going to be smiling because everyone is winning big time. I'm going to enjoy the meal. There'll be a few glasses of bubbly tonight, but the most important thing is lives have been changed as a result of this platform. And so today had to happen. Today I had to say what, because you've got to be grateful for what you have here. And if you take this seriously, if you really do that, guys, it just gives up so much. It gives you, your family, your friends, and it's nothing like seeing your family and friends all doing well. You just, you know, you just feel great. So I want you guys to understand, I love each and every one of you. This is the beginning of the year. Let's make this year the year that you'll never, ever forget. 2021 was amazing. Incredible. But look what the company has done and the direction it's taken us in. I'm so excited. I know you are, Kalps. And, you know, listen. So, guys, thank you. Kalps, I'm going to let you close out the call today. I'm going to say thank you. I'm going to put my black tie on, the old tux, and off I go tonight. We're going to have a few bubblies tonight, and we're going to share some wonderful stories of fantastic people tonight. So thank you, everyone. And also, I want to say congratulations to Elaine Henry, VIP 5 this week. Congratulations, Elaine. She's probably not here today. That's the 6th one in his team. And Clayton started, I think, July 2020. You know, 9 months after saying no to me, he said yes. And then 12 months later, 10 months later, VIP 5. And now has broken 6 VIP 5s. There you go. That's what this is about. Stay positive, folks. This will deliver for you. Just believe. Thanks, guys. Kalps, see you later, buddy.
Get a picture of you in a tux in the group, won't you?
I definitely will, my friend. I'll have all Morpheus on as well. I'm only joking. I'll have a shirt on. Thank you, guys.
Love it. Cheers, bro. Ciao, ciao.
You, brother. Yeah.
All right. So,
as soon as I'm due to appear, Keith disappeared, but that's good.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Kalpesh. A couple of little things, really. One that I love is that here I am, sitting in my home down in Hampshire, and the number of people that I've seen on this today that I've actually met. Is Jude coming up in a minute. We've all been together in Dubai, and we've all cuddled and laughed and hey Jude, you know, we did the song. And it's just so different now that I can see so many people. Just now there was of course, Sharon, who I know anyway. But there's the lovely, what's his name? Ollie, isn't it? Ollie, yeah, that's right. Ollie there, and I believe Ollie's in the UK at the moment, but he's back off to Mexico soon, I presume. So anyway, have you managed to conquer backgammon yet, Kalpesh?
Backgammon, no. I've read the
report.
Now I need to find a player to play with.
Yeah, we'll have to do something on Zoom, you know.
I was going to say there's probably an app or something we can find.
Yeah, that's it. I'm sure there is. Anyway, to go on, in a week's time, I think it's the 15th of January, I've been in 12 months. And in that 12 months, I've now got 2,317 grandchildren. So that's pretty good, really. I've got a lot more great-grandchildren, all of the people like Jude and Ollie and others that aren't actually in my team, but are good friends of mine, and yourself, of course, sir. That is just star. You know, it's just stunning. All of the wonderful people I've met. And that's what's so good about this. Forget the fact that we didn't get rewards for one day, and so people know. The fact is I made hundreds of friends. That is just top of the rise. You know, it's just amazing. The other thing I'd like to say is that on the 21st, I think it is, 21st of this month, I'm going off on a trip with my wife, who's just behind me here. And we're going to go across to Wales from here, through Southern Ireland, up through Northern Ireland, across to Scotland, and all the way back down through England. It's about 2,000 miles altogether. We're going to be on the trip for about 3 weeks, but I hope to be on every single Zoom that you do, and every one that we can on the way. I've got the computer and my phone, all be with me, so I'll still be there. But if anybody on that journey wants to get in touch with me, Facebook, WhatsApp, anyway, and would like a lunch or a dinner, I'm very happy if I can fit them into the journey to join me somewhere in that trip all the way around. That's Southern Ireland, Northern Ireland. I've already got Mick McMorkey we're going to meet, and the others of his team that are in Dubai. Going to Northern Ireland, I'm meeting someone there. Scotland, I'm meeting 2 or 3 already that are already booked in. And then down through England. So 3 weeks. Anybody, I can't fit everybody in, I'm sure, but if you want to contact me, please do, and we'll see what we can manage. So there you go. There's an offer. Dinner or lunch on me if I can meet you. There you go, boys. Happy days. It's all good fun.
Thank you. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you for everything you do, Gavin.
Already. Beautiful. All right. MizDough, please unmute yourself.
What's good, Calps?
Hey, how we doing?
Always a pleasure to see you. Oh my goodness. Busy rolling. Okay, so we only got a little time. We got to say this quickly. So behind me, I started my 90-day challenge, ran out to Walmart, grabbed a board, and the 10 people a day are on the board, the YouTube video every day. It tells me to rebuy right there. Just a bunch of stuff. So that's like my happy wall back there. I just want to say that I made a comment to a friend at home and it got misconstrued with another leader. And, you know, Brenda told me, and it was very powerful what she said to me, is to just don't be nervous. And if you are nervous, don't talk about it because things will get misconstrued. You're one of the leaders, okay? And so I like to take time to apologize for anything that got misconstrued and take the days and move on because we can't keep looking at yesterday. We have to move on for tomorrow. So with that said, your signups can come from the strangest places. Now, I don't have a lot of people on my team, but I still make enough money to pay my light, rent, gas, car note, and everything else I need to do. I mentioned this opportunity to my nephew who is currently, unfortunately, he's incarcerated. And he called me 9 times in 1 hour so he could hear the presentation. And I played it over the phone, okay? Wow. I got these checks all of a sudden from this place. He invested in his HyperFund account from the facility through me, okay? So I told him, okay, Auntie will match you if you send me a check for X amount of dollars. So now I'm matching him so that when he comes home, I'll be doing his rebuys. I'll do all this stuff. And when he comes home, I'll be able to turn his account over to him. I get a call last night. 4 more people want to join HyperFund. I'm like, is that crazy or what?
I love that.
Where we did the presentation over the phone.
Wow.
Awesome to me. So I like to thank God for the opportunity. I like to thank my upline leaders, my previous upline leaders. And I like to say that thank you for everyone that comes to my NFT training, because right now I'm training on NFTs and how to make them so that when the site is ready, we're already in position on our NFTs. You know, we've already got them ready and we're rolling. So thanks again for everything you do on the weekends. We love you guys.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Awesome. Look at that, making a difference in the places that often get forgotten about. Jude, how are we doing?
Hey, hi, Kalpesh. Long time no see, my friend.
Yeah, you got back home.
Oh, my God. So, yeah, you had asked about what we learned here. And number one, your first topic was get involved, you know, be at the meetings, do this, you know, get involved. So I heard about Dubai and it's like, okay, I'm going. So anyway, I did. Oh God, and I got to, you know, Grandpa Crypto, oh my God, what a guy, too much fun. I mean, I met many people that I've seen for a year, and I even got to interview Dizzy, and oh my God, his wisdom about, you know, his ranking up or the argument between, you know, the poverty consciousness and, you know, the I deserve consciousness. Anyway, so yeah, grab every opportunity you can, just the opportunity to be with these leaders and meet you know, Mick and Gorham and, you know, our other presenters. And of course, meeting Kalpesh in person was like, you know, bigger than life. But anyway, yeah, so go for it. But okay, shit happens. I ignored. I was so excited to be there that I am so infallible, you know, and so healthy and have such a great immune system that I was acting like COVID wasn't even a big deal. Well, what? It wasn't going to get me. So I'm hugging people and we're talking and loving, and oh God, it was so exciting. God, this Hyper family is the best. Anyway, so okay, I get COVID, got to go into 10-day lockdown. And I mean lockdown, the only place I could go was the bathroom. But so, and then I'm talking to my airlines to, you know, put that off. And they're saying, oh man, you're screwed, lady. You're stuck, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking with the Dubai Health Authority. And this one guy says, you know, you're going to be in Dubai for 90 days. It's like, oh my God. And so then 90 days. And then I found out the reason he said that is because their test can tell that you had COVID, and they're going to tell you that you had COVID for 90 days and make it a positive. Anyway, so it's like, oh my God, you know, I've got things I've got to do. So, okay, find the silver lining. Find the answers to all the objections you get, just like objections, you know, for people joining. There are objections for why I can't get out of the country. So I did massive research on the internet for days. And I had a stack of stuff from the CDC that addressed every single objection I had, you know, from the Health Authority and from the airline. And baby, I got out. And the CDC says, when you have a positive, don't you dare, you know, do more. Get your document that says you've done your isolation and you're free. And if anyone wants those documents, I'll give them to you. So then the next thing that, so yeah, okay, no bitching. That was lesson number 2. No bitching allowed. So, you know, find the silver lining and go for it and fight for what you believe. The third thing, the big lesson is gratitude. And when I first stayed at this isolation hotel, By the time I got out, the price had increased by 10 times. I mean, poverty consciousness over here was going, oh my God. And I'm going, oh, thank you, Thank you, HyperVerse. I can do this. I can do this. Anyway, exciting. And so I had to get out of that hotel anyway, whatever. I went to another one. I picked one up on Priceline on New Year's Eve. I'm laying in bed with picture windows, looking over this lagoon with massive fireworks. And I said, oh my God. I had no idea this was going to happen. I had no idea what beauty was going to happen. And I am at the right place at the right time. Just follow your gut and your belief. And here we are. And thank you, be grateful every night. I'm so grateful for Kalpesh and the opportunity, to meet the family and have so much fun and learn so much. And Keith, I know you're out there. What you two guys have put together is, and Ryan and the whole people, but you're the one running with the community. And I just love you so much for giving us this opportunity and create this amazing community. Everyone on here, we are so blessed. And if you're bitching, then find the silver lining, because it's up there. You just have to open your eyes like a parachute.
Boom. Thank you, Jude. And it was an absolute honor and pleasure to actually meet you in person. Such a beautiful soul. And as you say, a year of online relationship building, the best feeling to have seen you, met you, hugged you, and just to know that we made that happen. Magical.
I have to say one last thing. All the stuff I had to go through, and the weeks later I had to stay, and getting hit by the COVID train. Every single piece of stuff was worth every single. All that crap was worth the value I got by going there. It totally outshines, and MG. So I have to say, man, look at the silver lining and be.
Thank you. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap it up. It's been another phenomenal time spent with you guys on leadership, and everyone that's on the overflow link as well. Thank you for joining us today. Make sure you get to your teams. Make sure you have the conversations with them if they weren't here that we had today with you in a lighter manner in your version. Just get the message to them. We can do this better. Let's be better for each other, and let's smash this out the ballpark. The 90 days is ticking. Let's smash those 90 days to bits. 1,000 here, another 1,000 in the overflow, 2,000 of us hitting 100 views to the presentation each. That's 200,000 viewings. Wow. Can you imagine what that would do to the next 270 days? OMG. Thank you so much. We love you. Mwah. You guys are amazing. We appreciate you being part of our leadership core. And let's keep forging forward, keep inspiring as many around us that we possibly can. We'll see you back here next week. And don't forget, my presentations start this week on a Tuesday, back as we were 6:30 p.m. UK time. I'm looking forward to catching you all on that. Thank you so much. Mwah. Ciao for now.